You were jamming.
Hello.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out why Streamlabs ain't doing its job.
Not at all. Let me turn my headphones up.
I'm working on it, everybody.
Hello, family. Hello. Y'all, we've had a very busy tailgating party going on while we were waiting. And I've been in chat a little bit off and on while we were getting ready for the show, but we had some excited jurors tailgating, and I am ready for y'all because I saw you talking about if I'm going to get the cork or not. I've got the cork. I've got the wine. So we are going to celebrate. So congratulations to our little cult. We have now officially crossed over 500 members. So insane. And it's funny because I just sent JT a screenshot where it showed up on YouTube where it was saying 3 days ago we got the notice, congratulations, you've got 300 members. And now here it is just a few days later and we're crossing over the 500, which is just insane to me. So thank you so much. What was it, JT? 512 a second ago when?
Yeah, a second ago. I don't know what it is now.
I don't even know anymore. 1.2 billion.
There are a few of you that we would like to. There's a few that we want to thank. I think one of them's Ricky.
Yes, Ricky Watson gifted 10 memberships while we were waiting and during the tailgate party. And Boogie gifted 6. It may have been more than that now, actually. So 8, 9, 10, 11. I think like 11 or 12 or something. Now y'all kept. I had all of my stuff ready to go over this, and then y'all kept. Yes, we were very near a billion. Holly I had all of this stuff ready, and then y'all kept gifting them, which is amazing. But then I kept going back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have more we needed to add. So Boogie gifted. I think Boogie's 12 or something, and then Marilyn. Yeah. Marilyn Skull gifted 5.
And then Terry just gifted 5 more.
Terry just gifted 5 more. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you.
So amazing. We had a big tailgate party going on. Every time I try to refresh this, then there's more of y'all, and so I keep.
Yeah. Because Sharon just sent us a super chat. Congratulations. I was like 152. Thank you. And then Lisa just gifted 5 more.
Oh my gosh.
It feels like the first night all over again, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh. It does feel like the first night all over again. Oh my gosh. We were talking about that oh my gosh.
All right. Well, let me say oh. We got so excited your internet flipped out.
Been doing that all the time.
Okay, so real quick, because from your list you only have the people up to a certain amount, but welcome to the cult. Emma Cat, Catherine, Judy, love my dandelion, D Wright 1, 2, 3, and Rhonda D, and then also welcome to. Oh, I'm going to mess it up, but I'm going to try not to. Is it Elida Berrigan, WV, Brooke Hafner, Rona, Jordan G. Thank you very much, and welcome, and grab a cup of Kool-Aid with a C and an E at the end, because copyright infringement. But also because we're cool.
Yeah.
You stay there? You froze a little bit.
Yeah.
They're working on Brandi's internet. It's gonna be better, but for right now, she's taking a hit. It's Membership Monday.
Yay! It's amazing.
It is indeed.
We're gonna celebrate that every single time now. I have Thursday is going to be like Christmas for me because we will finally have my fiber, whatever it's called. They did the 8th floor today. I'm on the 5th floor, so they start up top and they're working every day.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, she fell in the portal. She done fell in the portal, everybody. Oh no. Polly's pointing out to me that Lisa Dempsey gifted gifted 5. I think I got it, but if I didn't, thank you, Lisa, very much. We're gonna wait for Brandi to come back. But while she's doing that, I will actually go ahead and bring up that list because I want to welcome the folks quickly who joined, who were gifted memberships tonight, but then who also joined a couple of days ago too. Such is life with the internets. She's coming back. Guess who's back? Back again. She's loading. She's buffering. Brandi's buffering. Now is she back? Are you back?
Maybe not. For now.
Do you want me to read the list or do you want to?
There's no telling how far I would be able to make it through, so you go right ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. What we got? We got everybody give a happy welcome to Brenda Meyer, Bridget Calderon, Christine D, Lori Sutherland, Duke Delta, the Mod Wife, Sheila Says, Fanny Pack, Missy Pants, Jessica Vi, Laura Cooper, Donna G, TN, I'm assuming it means Tennessee Grits, Small Victories,
yes.
Linda Denton, DOA, yikes, Lulu, Jesse, Nana Geek, Joe Ellen, Sewing Mama, Brandi Kansky, Truth and Justice, Leanne, Anne-Marie J, Olivia Rose, Catherine, Mountain Mama, Elida. Oh, I did this one. Ha! Got there. Boom. We did it. We did it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
My goodness gracious.
Y'all look good in green. It looks great on all of y'all. I'm so excited to have. So it's been, and somebody had mentioned earlier during the tailgate party that it's funny looking at it now that that we were hoping for 5, and now just look at us, just a growing. Oh. Thank y'all so much. Man, but we appreciate that so much.
So Brandi got herself the wine cork, and I did not want to feel outdone. I did not want to feel outdid. So here's what you need to know. One of our mods, Annie, her hubs, but also Annie, makes a lovely barbecue sauce. And this barbecue sauce is called Slick's Barbecue Sauce. It's at slicksbbq.com. They're still working on finishing up the distribution. However, they sent me 3 different codes of this barbecue sauce. The first one's code 1's mild, code 3 is hot. Code 3 is supposed to be around, I think she said 10 to 20,000 Scoville, which isn't entirely hot, but it is it's warm. And so I have only broken the seal. I have not actually unscrewed this. So this is going to be fun. So I am going to... I also have this lovely nondescript shot glass. So I'm going to smell it first.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God. It smells as good as the mild one. Oh, the viscosity is troubling. All right.
I'm ready.
Everybody can see this.
I'm ready. This is going to be just as good as like the dramatic reading of...
Really, what should happen is I should do this and then do the dramatic reading.
Yes.
I love...
Oh, that would make it so much better.
It smells so good. It smells so good. Ricky Watson just gifted another 5. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You guys are
y'all
awesome.
are the best.
So hi to Suzanne. Sure. Hi to Suzanne. Hi to Wendy. Hi to Candace Hoff. Hi to One Who Sees. Ooh, clever. And Jeannie Garvin. Welcome to the cult. And now I'm going to do this.
Oh my gosh.
And Boogie just gifted 5 more memberships. Thank you, Boogie.
Thank you. How was that?
Sniper 79, YT, Ellen Boggs, Mercedes, Dizzy, and Jennifer. Welcome. Hold on, there's more.
I'm actually really impressed that you're still able to read after doing that, because I would be on fire.
So here's what you need to know about this. It's warm. It is warm, but it is so tasty. I love hot sauce that is also tasty. It sounds like it's an ad plug, and you know what? It flipping is. So Slick's BBQ sauce. SlicksBBQ.com. I am Annie well done until Brent well done. Wonderful job. Yeah, great. That's later. That's after. The heat score. Yeah, sure. I think it's between 10 and 20,000 Scoville. Apparently, there's another one that is made sometimes that is 500,000 Scoville. And I have told Annie that I would do this if they make it and send it. And she said we needed to hit like a number of members in order to do it. So,
how many?
Oh wait, the next bottle name is it's a slow burn. Okay. How many? Annie, can you please tell me how many members Brent said we needed to have, or subscribers? It was one of the two. Just type it right there in the chat. It was very good, truly. That is super tasty. Oh my gosh. Woo!
I'd be dying.
It's not that it isn't hot. It's just the flavor was there and we loved it.
Yeah. I can't take. I like just a little bit, but I can't take a lot. It's a wimp when it comes to that.
Oh, Annie said the next bottle is Groin Fire. That's what it's going to be called.
Appropriate. Super inappropriate. Super.
S-I. Oh, man, guys.
That's
okay,
amazing.
So we got a lot going on tonight. We've officially kind of celebrated a little bit.
Yes. Oh, and for those of y'all asking, I got
100K. 100,000 subscribers. That's the number.
We've got, okay. Oh, we'll get there. We're well on the way. We got more than 5 anyway. Okay, so this one.
I might get impatient.
That one's going in the quart jar. So y'all are awesome.
Boom.
Y'all are awesome. You're the best. I think once we get to like 10,000, I'm supposed to clog or something. I think that was one of the things that I think you were not here that night. And somehow I got tricked into or talked into clogging or something when we hit, I think it was 10,000. I don't know. It's going to be a shit show, but we're going to go for it anyway. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I like how we now have our own milestone celebrations.
I know.
I would say yours is more fun than mine, but truly, that was so good. Brent, well done. Pat yourself on the back. In fact, you can hurt yourself patting yourself on the back that hard. So, yeah, a couple things tonight. I think we want to quickly show everybody, just remind everybody about the website. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
13thjuror.live. Ooh, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so if y'all missed the stream where we went over all of this, we put up the 13th Juror live stream website. So it's 13thjurors.live. We have the quote, murdery stuff is better with friends from someone somewhere, probably. It's not an actual quote, but it's just kind of like I figured it should be. So right now we have on here the Lori Vallow Daybell trial. And you click on that one to catch up on any of the stuff you missed from very beginning up until the verdict was read. We have the spot over here for future trials. So if there's anything coming up, and we've had a couple of them that have been submitted to us so far, but anything that's coming up, if it's a trial or a hearing or anything that you want us to cover or want us to take a look at, submit it through here. And I know that I'm getting a lot of submissions like through Twitter and stuff. So if you can, oh, hello, New Zealand. Hello. So if you can try to do it through here, it helps me tremendously because I get so much stuff sent to me on Twitter. It's 13th juror.
Yep, just like the logo.
Just like the logo, yeah. So if I get so much sent to me on Twitter that things will get lost. So if you can send it here, then it helps me because I can organize it through the website. Also, if we
Ricky just gifted another membership. Thank you, Ricky. And hi, Peter Ware.
Thank you so much. Y'all are killing me here. Whew. Thank you so much, Ricky. We appreciate it. So if you go down to our live stream fund, so this is the fun that we get to have while we're here. So the Hot Cops and Trial Daddies, you can click on that and it pulls up all of our current submissions. You can scroll through, do with them what you will. I'm not judging it. It's not my business. But I have not added one for tonight. Because I don't have that many submissions. If you're sending the submissions like through Twitter and stuff, I get so much stuff sent to me that they're getting lost. So I have a button on here for you to submit them here. And that'll go straight to where I need it to go. And just give us picture, kind of background information of, what trial they're from or what news coverage or whatever it is, so that we can add that to it. We have, yes, these are fun. And I posted on Twitter today because I know that there are a couple of, with the Murdaugh thing, the Sergeant Daniel Green wasn't really Sergeant Daniel Green. And then there was somebody else that was something else. So I posted that on Twitter because there's a couple of the names, I guess, that got mixed up for the Murdaugh stuff that may have been wrong, and we're trying to figure it out. So that'll be updated. This is the other one. This is the most fun one. Well, depending on who you ask. This one's the fun for everyone. The History 101. So all of our ridiculous stuff that we make fun of, everything is going to be in here. So all of the crazy graphics that I make and tweet out to in order to make fun of everything, and all of our like little inside jokes and everything will all be here in the history lesson stuff. So it's hard sometimes to go through and try to find everything that we've tweeted. So this is kind of like the one-stop shop for all things ridiculous. And it's going to be separated by trial. So be on the lookout for JT's dramatic reading to possibly be added to this as well. This is the one that we added today. So since the Lori Vallow trial is over and we were able to have a couple of awesome guests on the stream during that time, I wanted to, hi, Ivan.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Nice to see you too.
Meatloaf party on. Yes, good to see you, Ivan. Yeah, inventory sounds miserable. So since we were able to have some really cool guests on, we had Matthew Harris Law, also known as Mr. October, and we have Bob Motta. I mean, who doesn't love Bob Motta? And of course, Recovery Addict has been able to come on a couple of times, which was amazing. So we had to add him to our ridiculous wedding photo album. So we have Matthew Harris Law is back there rock climbing on the cliff, and we have Recovery Addict with his doing his recovery thing with his metal detector, and then Bob Motta riding the waves back there. So we have the whole gang, everybody that we've been able to have guest with us so far up to this point. So we added that one in there today.
Thanks, Holly. Holly gifted another membership. So it's hello today, literally day, today, hello today, hi day. Boogie also gave us a super chat of $5. I just put the link in just below, so you can check that out. Yay!
That's awesome. Thank y'all so much. Gosh.
Oh, the indigestion is real. Note to self: when live streaming, don't ingest hot sauce, or do. It makes things fun. Okay, and then right at the bottom of this,
you didn't even just ingest it though. You took a whole shot of it. That was the thing. That may have been where you crossed over the line a little bit. Was the entire shot of it, but that's okay.
I've never been known to stay on one side of the line. And then at the bottom here, we've got a submission for the WTF moment of the week. So if you see anything, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything we cover. In fact, it would be great if it was a trial-based thing, but if you think it's something we really should see or really could just pop up as like just a brief break from everything, do it.
Yeah. Our Sunday show is the most fun one. That's the one where we get to like laugh at everything ridiculous, make fun of everybody. Really just, we spend that whole 2 hours just cracking up. So anything that you see that could be a possible WTF moment, even if it's not in our stream, let us know. And especially, like JC like JT said, especially, you know, if it's not in our stream, then we may have missed it. So you might be the one who saves the day by showing us what we missed.
Yes, and then of course you've got you know, connect with us, and there's the social medias, because of course there are some schmedias, always schmedias to go around.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
well,
yes.
that was our website. You can check it out, 13thjuror.live.
Oh, and we have our first in chat.
Oh, yeah.
That we forgot.
Yes,
We got
that's
so carried
true.
away with the tailgate party stuff that we forgot all about the first in chat. But so first in chat, congratulations to Portland Trailblazers TV. You get oh, and y'all been asking for a crown. Look, you asked for a crown. Chart Lady Colt gives you a crown. So now you've got a crown, and you've got your imaginary throne that doesn't exist, that you can choose in any color. Congratulations on being the first.
Yes.
Hope said, "I got the stool."
Sure did.
Well,
Sure did.
You sure did, Hope.
Stool.
You sure did, and you did not get a crown, but you got a fancy top hat. So congratulations, Hope, on your 1975 Granny's Kitchen stool and your fancy top hat.
And then we've added third in chat. Because why stop at 2? Everything's better with 3. And so the third in chat is
Lawnerd Amber. You get your very own fake beanbag. You can choose it in any color, and you do not get a fancy crown or a fancy top hat, but you do get this fancy blue sun hat that matches your fake beanbag. So congratulations to you, Lawnerd Amber, and thanks for y'all showing up early to party.
Yeah, and I just want everybody to know, whoever wins the beanbag, you have to give it back to the next person. So you can't be sitting there watching us like naked eating Cheetos. You have to give it back, and it has to be in a nice condition. So I'm just saying. Just saying. Oh man. Whew.
So fine.
So congrats to all of you, all 3 of you.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
We're so happy to have you all here.
Lawnerd Amber said, "I'm outside watering my plants named Brandi and JT right now. Give me my sun hat." Yay! That's awesome. So that worked out perfect. Congratulations on
you didn't feel me put the invisible sun hat right on you? It was there. I swear. Well, okay, so you know, we are gonna hop into the second half of day 1, and then I also have day 2 prep in case we get to a point where you know, if we want to move forward. What I want to say is just a couple of things. In terms of audio, New Hampshire doesn't seem to have it past like 8-track player yet. And so I've done what I can to raise the volume and clean it up as much as I can. That does not, it's not like the phone calls. It's just not. But I've done my best. And I've also trimmed out all of the breaks, and I've added some fade in, fade out. Ooh, fancy. And so I've pushed it to 1.25, because any faster than that, it's going to be difficult to hear, especially with this audio. Better audio, we can go a little bit faster, but 1.25 is kind of the best way to go. I don't think I heard much mic static this time, Big Daddy. But you know, it was the same day, so we're gonna do our best. I think they're using a different podium while questioning witnesses. And then finally, something else that I want to mention is that, you know, in cases like this, it always seems to sometimes bring up some difficult thoughts. Everybody's opinion's valid, but here's where we draw. Here's where 13 Juror kind of draws the line. And I think everybody else here does too, is that we don't victim blame. And nobody has done that in this chat. I just want to say it now, is that no matter what a person's profession is, no matter what they choose to do, nobody deserves, in this instance, to have somebody live in their attic spying on them and taking pictures of them without their consent. In no way, shape, or form does anybody ever ask that. And so it's really important for us to keep track of what we are saying. So there it is. Thank you, advocate. So that phrase right here is that in no way, shape, or form do we condone or support any level of victim blaming, so refrain from doing so. We don't make fun of the victims or the victim's family or friends. It didn't finish. Maybe I had too long of a message. What it did say was we do make fun of the criminals because more than likely they deserve it. But the point is the first half, and I'm glad the first half made it. Oh, wait, no, there's the next line. There it is. Make fun of the criminals. And the attorneys, yes, absolutely. Especially Mr. Clean, who is this guy's attorney. And so that's, I just wanted everybody to know that. I know that that sounds like I'm preaching or standing on a soapbox, but it's a really important soapbox to me. And I think it is to Brandi too. Actually, I feel comfortable saying I know it is. But I just want to throw that out there before we get going with like the really bulk of the trial. So, ta-da! There it is. Your disclaimer.
Yes. Look, if y'all want to make fun of somebody, John Thomas all day long. We are here for that. You can still make fun of him, even though that trial is over. You can make fun of John Thomas anytime and every time you feel the need to make fun of anybody. All right, I'm ready. Let's get into this one.
All right. So, yep, here we go. Also, this is as full screen as I can get with this application, so just forgive me. I'm working on getting something different. Okay. And it might be quiet for just a second. And by that, I mean it's been silenced. So let's just move on until it makes noise. No? Oh, Brandi left. She fell back through the portal.
This morning.
There we go. All right. She's fallen back through the portal.
Just to make a brief record on the excusal of juror number 8. She reported this morning having some personal family experience with the issues that have been developing in this case. She quite frankly apologized just a moment ago in chambers for not bringing it up on Monday, but she didn't really understand that those were the issues involved in the case. And I can understand that the way the case is charged. So anyway, she was very apologetic, as was I, and she perfectly understood it's an issue that is very recent in her family and did tend to evoke some emotions on her part. Although she felt that she could still be impartial, she was, I would say, was uncertain about it.
And Marla, welcome to the call.
So she has been excused. All right, and that was at the defense did ask for excusal as well. All right, so with that, we will bring in the jury. And as the jury's coming in, I can say as well, I did ask her not to say anything to the other jurors. She said, she assured me she has not, and they haven't seen each other.
All right.
Yeah, Suzanne, this is the end of day 1. Yep. Well, it's the beginning of the witnesses of day 1. I know that they are in deliberation now, but this is a very interesting trial with a lot of different components to it. And so, you know, you still want to...
Good morning, Captain Sunderland. You can resume the witness stand, and as the witness is coming back to the witness stand this morning, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, you will notice that juror number 8 is she has been excused from further service. No need to speculate as to why. It was a decision that that I made after consulting with her and with the attorneys. But there's no need to speculate. You'll just go about your duties in the case. All right, so Captain Sunderland, just remind you that you are under oath, and I believe we're on cross-examination at this point.
No, I'm still on direct.
Oh, you were still on direct. Well,
Still on direct. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Having a moment. Oh, God. Did I leave it up on day 2? I sure did, everybody. I'm sorry. We're going to go fast. Or I'm going to get back to this. We're going to go back to day 1, shall we? Where's day 1? Why did day 1 disappear? This is day 1. There it is. All right. I'm sorry, everybody. Look at me.
there's an opening to the right in the back.
All right.
When you enter the witness stand, if you kindly remain standing, raise your
That
right
was
hand.
that was the beginning of day 2.
Do you swear
Oh, we're
or
going
that the
back to the
testimony you give
future,
to the jury
Mark.
will be the truth and the whole truth under the penalties of perjury?
I had one down.
Please
You are
be seated.
correct.
Attorney Ramos, when you're ready.
Your Honor. Sergeant Pitt, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. I'm just going to start by just having you just state your first name, last name, and spell your last name for the record, please.
It's Nicole Lefebvre, and that's Lefebvre.
Sergeant Pitt, where do you currently work?
Somersworth Police Department.
How long have you worked for the Somerset Police Department?
About 8 years.
What's your role within the Somerset Police Department?
I'm a patrol sergeant.
Can you describe your duties as a patrol sergeant?
Manage my shift. I'm responsible for 2 or 3 individuals underneath me as patrolmen. Give advice as needed.
Did you receive any special training in order to become a police officer?
I did. I went to a 16-week police academy in Concord.
No. On February of 2022, were you a certified police officer in the state of Hampshire?
Yes.
I just want to ask you about that time frame, specifically direct your attention to the early mornings of, or early hours of February 9th, 2022. Were you working that day?
Yes,
And at some point during your shift, did you respond to 34 Highland Street in Somersworth?
I did.
Why did you go to that address?
Got a call about a noise complaint, possible raccoons up on the roof. The caller really wasn't sure the cause for the noise.
Now, can you describe, did you respond by yourself or?
Yeah.
I responded with one of my other officers, Officer Self.
No. Once you arrive at 34 Highland Street, what do you do? How do you control that scene?
So we made contact with the calling party, Victoria
Can't
Burke.
even get on.
She was hearing some noises up on the roof. So she immediately brought us inside, kind of showed us the layout of the house and showed us where the noises were coming from at that time.
So you arrived at the house, you said you responded with another officer. Do you both go inside the house?
Yes.
Now, once you're inside the house, where do you go?
She brought us to where she could hear the noises. It's an older house, so it's a little bit of a maze, but she brought us in the front door around a couple corners into a set of stairs that went up onto the 2nd floor.
And were you able to hear those noises yourself?
We could hear some scuffling at that point, yes.
Could you describe what the noises or what it sounded like?
From there, it sounded like light footsteps. We couldn't tell at that point if it was an animal or a person.
So once you hear these light footsteps or noises, what do you do?
So I continued talking with Victoria, and my other officer, Officer South, continued to investigate the noises. While speaking with Victoria, Officer South explained to me that he could hear louder footsteps that he believed to be human.
Where were you at this time?
I was speaking with Victoria just around the corner from the stairs, I believe.
Now, did you stay inside the house the whole time?
While I was speaking with her, yes.
So after you're done speaking with her, where did you go?
After we spoke with her, my officer said he believed the noises were coming from the roof. So we stepped outside to get a better vantage point of the roof at that point.
What were you able to observe at that point?
I walked out of the house, and the house is situated on a hill. So I walked down the hill to get an easterly view of the house, and at that point, I saw somebody crawling across the roof.
And was this roof connected to the same house that you were just in?
Yes.
So once you see that someone's crawling out of that roof, what did you do?
I announced myself as a Somersworth police officer, and I ordered him to come off of the roof.
Did he do that?
No, he continued to crawl across the roof and out of sight.
So now, once he continues to crawl, what actions do you take after that?
My other officer, Officer South, was on the other side of the house. So from there, I radioed to him and asked if he had sight of him, because at this point we had both sides of the house covered. He notified me that he could see him on his side of the roof at that point. So I made my way over to his side.
Now, so you're both standing on the same side of the house at that point?
Yes.
And what did you do after that?
I asked Officer South where he saw him, and he stated that he saw him on a flat part of the roof, which was under an attic window. So I proceeded to go into the house. I ordered Officer South to stay where he could see the individual on the roof and keep eyes on him while I went inside of the house.
Now you're inside the house. Where in the house did you go to?
I immediately went upstairs to the attic. There's a window in the attic that goes out to that flat part of the roof.
Can you describe what you're observing while you're at the attic? What does it look like?
So as soon as you open the door, it's an older house, so it's a very steep set of wooden stairs with a low hanging roof or a ceiling right there. So going up into the attic, there wasn't a lot of headspace, so I had to crouch a little bit. Going to the window, I did see it was closed, but I immediately noticed a hole in the screen that was big enough for a person to fit through.
And after you noticed this window that had that broken screen, were you able to see the person that you had observed outside?
As I opened the window, he was crouched in the corner of the roof just outside of the window.
So once you noticed that he was there, what did you do?
I ordered him to show me his hands and to come through the window with his hands first.
Did he do that?
Yes.
Now, once you're both inside the, I guess, across the threshold of the window, what did you do?
I ordered him onto his stomach, and I detained him at that point.
After you detained him, were you able to identify him?
Yes.
How were you able to do that?
I believe it's, I don't believe I put that in my report. I believe I asked him his name and he told me his name.
Now, Officer, did you write a report in this case?
I did.
Yeah, is that looking at a copy of your report on refresher recollection?
Possibly.
Got my approach?
Yes.
So, Officer, I'm showing you a copy of your report. I'm going to ask you to read this paragraph right here and look up when you're done. Did that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
So, Officer, on that, we asked you the question, were you able to identify the individual that you had observed?
Yes, I was.
How were you able to do that?
By his Pennsylvania driver's license.
So I just want to switch gears a little bit and ask you about some of the items that you were able to observe while you were inside the house. Can you explain to the jurors what areas of the house that you looked at?
Sure. So entering the house, you enter through a side porch and then it comes into a kitchen area. Off of the kitchen, there's an older room that they use mainly for storage. And I found a pair of sneakers in that room, Van sneakers that the homeowner and Ms. Nunez said that didn't belong to them. I also observed in the attic a McDonald's bag with pancakes in it, a drink cup, and a sleeve of saltine crackers up there.
Am I approach?
Yes.
We got a coffer.
So, Officer Dave, I'm now going to show you 8 separate images. These have been already pre-marked for identifications as State's Exhibits 1 through 8. I'm just going to have you look at all of them first, and then I'll ask you a couple of follow-up questions. So, Sergeant, do you recognize all of these images?
Yes, I do.
Where were these images taken?
In the attic space.
And when were they taken?
The date, the 9th, February 9th. Morning.
Do States Exhibit 1 through 8 for ID, all the pictures that I just looked at, fairly inaccurately show the condition of the house and the items that you looked at when you went to the house?
They do.
And at this moment, I move to strike that the answer to these 1 through 8 as full exhibits.
All right, so there's no objection to 1 through 8. The ID will be stricken. They'll be full exhibits.
Do you mind grabbing the lights?
And I just want to ask permission to go second here.
Yes. Is that television screen in your way, or can you see the board?
Oh, those are the
Starting with,
shoes.
We're looking at that big screen. That image has already been admitted as a full exhibit. It states it's full exhibit 7. Can you describe for the jurors what we're looking at in that image?
That's a pair of black and white Vans sneakers that were found inside of that room off the kitchen.
Were you able to identify who those shoes belong to?
I took them as evidence, and I believe ultimately they were identified, yes.
Now, did they belong to anyone that lived at 34 Highland Street?
No.
Now, we're looking at State's exhibit, or State's full exhibit 1. What's included within that image?
It is a McDonald's cup, a sleeve of saltine crackers, and appears to be a hash brown from McDonald's.
And where in the house was that, where those items located?
Those are in the steps going up to the attic.
Well, he did steal a couple of things. I
Now,
don't
we're
know. We
looking
might
at
find out.
State's, full exhibit number 8. What were you able to observe in that image?
So this is a set of Apple AirPods in that white container and a tile tag. It's a location device
And where within the house were those 2 items located?
in the attic. In the attic. In the attic.
So with that one, we're looking at State's full exhibit 2. Now describe what's in State's that image.
That's the McDonald's bag with the pancakes.
Now describe what's in State's that image.
Also a McDonald's bag with the pancakes.
I'm seeing 2 people say that the audio is garbled.
State's exhibit.
Was the audio garbled to anybody else?
Is that a larger version of that same picture that we just looked at?
Yes.
So sorry, we're looking at State's full exhibit 5. What is that a picture of that we're looking at currently?
That's a picture of the window in the attic and the torn screen.
So when you approach the attic, where within that picture were you able to observe the individual?
He was crouched in the corner just outside of that window up to the left.
This exhibit is State's exhibit, or full exhibit 4. What is
Yeah, the
that
attorney's
picture
not at the mic.
The torn screen.
of? Where did that window, where did it lead to within the house?
It leads outside of the house onto a flat roof area.
Yeah.
This last image is State's full exhibit number 6. Can you describe that image?
It's a water bottle
And where was that located?
in the attic.
So, Sergeant Flynn, once we were able to document those items and observe those items, did you remain at the house or did you go somewhere else?
I remained at the house.
Now, once you're done looking at items in the house and talking to people, what did you do?
After I collected statements, I responded back to the police station to assist Officer Seth.
Now, let's talk about what you did when you were back at the police station. Were you able to talk with the individual that you had just identified?
Yes.
And just that it's clear, can you state the name of the individual that you had identified at 34 Hampshire Street?
I'm Mauricio Guerrero.
And Sergeant Fair, do you see Mauricio in court today?
I do.
Can you identify him by item of clothing he's wearing?
Blue shirt and a blue tie.
If you got, I guess that the record reflect that Sergeant Fair does identify the defendant.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
Right, the record will so reflect.
So Sergeant Fair, were you able to speak with the defendant at the police station?
I was.
This is Sergeant L from the
Describe
affidavit
how
that I
she
talked
went.
about last night or Friday.
I began by asking him, I showed him the pair of sneakers that I had found in the spare room and asked him if those were his, and he stated they were not.
Now, were you able to determine based on your conversation with Mr. Guerrero, defendant, What he was doing at 34 Hampshire Street?
He told me that he was there to take possession of a fireplace that he had gifted to Miss Nunes.
And did he have permission to come get that fireplace?
Objection.
Sustained.
Sorry, could you say any statements to whether he had permission to get that fireplace?
Objection.
I want to come up.
Up. Straight. Oh, look, there's the white noise. Yes, turn it up louder. That's what we all like to hear. Oh, goodness gracious. Poor Brandi's internet is not liking much of anything right now. We're really hoping that when they they install fiber, it all gets fixed. That's what we're hoping for. Oh, that.
Sorry, I'm going to re-ask the question. Did the defendant make any statements to you when you were talking to him as to whether he had permission to come get that fireplace?
No, he did not.
I just want to clarify, did you say, was the answer no? he
Oh,
didn't
goodness
make any
gracious, New Hampshire.
No, he didn't make any statements.
Were you able to determine when he arrived?
He stated that he arrived at the residence at about 11 o'clock at night.
All right,
to
everybody,
midnight.
we got to lay off the witness now.
We responded there on
Done.
2-9, so it would have been 2-8.
So
I'm just going to say it
That
flat out.
previous night.
And was he able to explain how he got inside of the house?
He told me that he entered the house through a blue door that was open.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sorry, he stated that he entered the house through a blue door that was open.
That was. Now, how did he end up in the attic from that conversation that you had with him?
He stated that he was in the house and that when he heard Officer South and I, he ran.
Were you able to look at his phone?
I was.
How did that occur?
I asked him if he had been invited there by Miss Nunes. He stated that he had been invited, and I asked him if he had messages showing this.
Were you able to see those messages?
Yes.
And were the messages accurate with what you were, or the statements that he told you, were those messages accurate with that?
Yes.
And Sergeant Lefebvre, I guess I forgot to ask you this, so I just want to make sure that it is clear. When you saw a defendant back at the attic, what was he wearing?
A purple sweatshirt and blue pants.
Did he have any shoes on?
No, he did not.
No, now every woman.
Yes.
So, Sergeant Lefebvre, I just have a couple more questions that I just want to make sure that they're clear. Did the defendant explain this relationship that he had with the person that lived at 34 Hampshire?
He said it was on again, off again thing, that they would go a couple months talking to each other. They would block each other and then talk to each other again.
Now, when you're looking at his phone, can you describe what his demeanor is like while you're going through the phone?
He was just kind of sitting in our booking area. He didn't have any sort of demeanor to him. To me, I didn't believe that he was taking this seriously.
Objection.
Sustained. So, ladies and gentlemen, that last comment will be stricken from the record. You're not to consider it in any way.
Now, sorry to say, just to make sure that my question is clear. Were you able to hold his phone in your hand and look at the entire conversation?
Yes, I was.
And at any point did he have that phone himself and he was showing you those messages?
He did.
How was he acting while you were going through that process?
So
salute
I
you.
asked him if I
Good
could see
night.
the messages. He said yes. I handed him his phone so he could turn it on. It had been powered off at that point. As he turned the phone on, he appeared to scroll and delete at least one message before handing me the phone.
How did you conclude the involvement with at night?
I left the booking area and I made contact with our detective captain, Sunderland, in the hallway. I briefed him on the case that we had, and he asked if he believed that Guerrero would give us permission to download
Day
his phone.
3.
And were you able to obtain that consent?
Yes, he gave consent.
So, sorry, Dave, I just have one more picture that I want to show you. Can you got my approach?
Yes.
So, sorry, Dave, I'm showing you this image. This has been pre-marked for identification as State's Exhibit 9. Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
I do.
When was this picture taken?
The morning of February 9th.
And what exactly are you looking at in that image?
It's a Ford F-150.
And were you able to identify who was driving or owned
Yes,
that Ford F-150?
yes.
Who was that?
It was determined that Guerrero was driving that F-150.
Where was that F-150 parked?
It was parked just up the street and around the corner from Highland Street.
Does that image have fairly accurately depict what the Ford F-150 that was identified to be owned or driven by Mr. Guerrero look like?
Yes.
All right, ask just like the IT image of this full exhibit.
No objection to 9. It'll be a full exhibit.
And I publish that to the jury, Your Honor?
Yes.
It was the
So,
affidavit.
Can you just describe briefly for the jurors were in relation to Highland Street, was this truck parked?
Yep. So the truck is situated on Grand Street. Just past that house with the white trim on the right is Highland
Oh,
Street.
there's the truck.
Would someone on Highland Street be able to see that truck?
No.
Is there a direct line of sight from that street to 34 Highland Street?
No.
Feel bad for the barbers.
So, sorry, Mr. You were able to take some images of some food and some items. Can you just explain for the jurors, based on the conversation that you had with the defendant, whether those items, were you able to identify who those items belong to, or did you get them?
He stated at one point during our conversation that he did leave the house to get snacks before returning.
So, were you able to confirm with him that he was the one who brought those snacks to the house?
I don't recall.
Yes. How about the McDonald's back that you photographed?
Yes, he did state that he went to McDonald's.
So, Attorney, I have no further questions for you at this time. Attorney Starvin, you have the opportunity to ask you some questions now.
Okay, thank you.
So folks, we've been going about an hour and a half. What we'll do is take a 15-minute break now. When we come back, we'll work till about 12:30 and take our lunch break at 12:30. All right, 15 minutes.
All right.
And you can leave your notebooks behind. Thank you.
So she's just testifying about her experience, pretty much getting him. She was there. She done did it. She did the thing. Oh, look at that guy. You know what makes me angry is that he pulls off an undercut better than I do, and he has no right to. So I'm going to need him to shave it off. Silence. All right, we're going to fast forward a little bit here because nothing happens. They're gone. We're back. Still silent. There we go. Look at that. Cut straight through that break. At least there's something. It's kind of like what I have. It's just everything around the side is tight, and then up on top's just, well, most people's it's not. It's just there.
All right, folks, for those of you who are taking notes, you can get your notebooks ready. And there is one thing I neglected to mention. When you do take breaks and you leave the courtroom, both lunch during the midday or mid-session breaks and at the end of the day, just leave your notebooks on your chair. The monitor secures them overnight, and we make sure that they're secure during the day. Okay, thank you. Attorney Starbranch, when you are ready.
Thank you. Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
Have you made that before?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I'm going to use Sergeant to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Thank you.
Did anybody just hear? Da, 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 da,
Just a couple
da,
of
da, da,
questions.
da, da.
You spoke with Mauricio, is that correct?
Yes.
And you the first of those 3 interviews all
I'm honestly not sure how many interviews he had after me.
More than one.
Okay, yes.
It was you, Officer Guerrero, as well, correct?
I'm not sure. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, Sergeant Sutherland, did he do well?
Yes,
So you said you're,
correct.
he really talked to you,
Yes,
and he really gave you the phone and provided you with it.
yes,
And you asked him some questions about what the heck he's doing.
correct,
And one of the things he told you was, well, there his fireplace.
correct.
And he said you guys got there around 11 o'clock that evening, correct?
Correct.
At the house. Sorry?
Correct.
Okay. And he indicated you that he was invited by Rachel, and she came out and spoke. Correct?
Yes,
One of the things he told you was that their meeting or their engagement didn't end very well. Is that fair to say? He told you that he was sure they were in a relationship, correct?
correct.
You can assume that they broke up or someone's in a relationship.
I don't even know if his mic's on, to be honest.
And he told you that he was afraid that he was going to give away the gifts. I'm sorry, that she's going to give away the gifts that he gave her. So she was throwing money, right?
He stated that he asked permission and she said she was going to throw it out.
She was throwing money.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sit down. It's the Wish version of John
He gave
Thomas,
you
and I
that,
didn't think that was
It
possible.
wasn't just the fireplace and the TV set, they also has a personal stuff there as well.
No, he did not.
They told you that he wanted to stop that, right?
The fireplace.
Actually, did you at one point just say he wanted to stop that? Be specific.
I don't recall that. I recall this being about the fireplace.
He indicated to you it was because he was of the opinion that the relationship may well be over, so he was going to go collect some stuff, right?
I believe he stated that it was a waste of his time.
Do you recall, if I were to shoot a transcript of the meeting with Mauricio, that refresh your memories of what exactly he said about getting stuff back?
Yes.
Page 6. Any questions what you want?
Yes.
I'm going to show you. Go ahead and read this to yourself. So you read the whole page, a few books on line 12, and then when you're done, you can tell me if that refreshes your memory.
Yes. Also, yes.
Does that refresh your memory? Is when I told you that he just wanted to stop that?
Yes.
What Brandi said.
Where was the TV?
I'm not sure. I didn't see it in the residence.
Was it his truck?
No.
Did he tell you that
I
he
am
was
this
trying to
guy.
get her to get
No,
it?
I'm JT.
Yes.
Brandi's internet's busted.
Because at some point, you actually encountered Rachel Nunez, correct?
Yes.
And she told you that she knew Mauricio through OnlyFans, correct?
Correct.
And you specifically asked her if she and Mauricio ever had a physical relationship, right?
Correct.
She said no, we had never had a physical relationship, right?
Correct.
You found out later on that was a lie.
Mauricio told me that they had had a relationship.
Let me put it this way. If she in fact had a physical relationship with Mauricio, then she lied to you, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've
Redirect.
been called Ron more than once, actually, and I'm not quite sure why. I've seen one episode. I probably need to watch more. See you, Ricky. That's literally the most manly reason to have to leave a stream. Truly. Have a good night, man.
Certainly, I just want to point your attention to the first conversation that we're having with the defendant. During Stalker, to ask you some questions about some of the things that the defendant told you what he was doing when he got there. At any time when you were having this conversation with him, did he mention that he had been there 2 days prior?
No, he did not.
Did he mention that he'd been in the house on multiple occasions?
No, he did
Jackson's house has been crossed.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
No, he did not.
Now, I do want to ask you some questions about the conversation that you have with Ms. Eunice, Rachel, that Attorney Starkins asked you about. I believe the question was about a physical relationship. Do you recall how you asked that question?
I do not recall exactly how I asked that question.
Based on your training and experience, what type of information were you trying to get during that?
Objection to relevance.
All right, you want to come up?
Oop, back to the white noise. Oh, man. Betsy, that's a lot of cows. I don't know, man. Listen, I got that one wig, which is not mine. It was for a costume. I do not have a blonde wig. If I start buying wigs, Mrs. Bruce Crime is going to wonder what is up. And she already does. Barry Mason, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Oh, and it's an ice cream cone. All we need is ice cream and a hug. Love that song. Oh, boy. P.O. Box. Listen, I have the form filled out. It's just a matter of getting there. And I meant to do it this weekend. But since there's some white noise, well, no longer. I'll tell you after the next white noise. Don't let me forget.
So, sorry, at that point when you're investigating this incident that you just responded to, when you ask the question about the relationship, what information are you trying to gather?
I'm trying to figure out if there's a domestic partnership aspect to this incident.
It's like 3 or 4 days. 4 times, 3 days, something like that.
Would that be your boyfriend-girlfriend relationship?
Boyfriend, girlfriend, intimate partners, along those lines.
Little Brew Crime wants a hug. Don't go crazy in chat.
Attorney Starkins.
Very, very
Yeah.
briefly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Attorney Ramos talks about, was asking questions, Mauricio will tell you information about where he's staying, how long he's been there. Remember those questions?
Yes.
Did you specifically ask these questions?
I asked Mauricio what brought him to 34 Highland Street or when he got there.
We got that.
Right.
Okay, nothing further.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Maybe you step down. Thank you. Your excuse. State, call your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the state calls for to report the stand.
Oh. Doggone what I miss. All of a sudden we're zooming in. What is happening? Oh, boy.
If you could come up here to the witness stand, you'll see that there's an opening at the behind the witness stand. If you could step in, ask you to remain standing and kindly raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give to the jury will be the truth and the whole truth under the penalties of perjury?
Yes.
All right, please be seated.
Mauricio!
Good morning, Victoria. Can you please state your first name and last name, and spell your last name for the record, please?
Sure. Victoria Burke, Bourque.
So, Victoria, I just want to direct your attention to February of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You remember that time
Sure
frame?
did.
Yes.
So during that time, where were you living?
In Somersworth,
And who lived with you?
my daughter Rachel and my grandson.
Now, was there a time that she didn't live with you?
Yes.
And do you recall?
This is the victim's mother, I think. Because I'm pretty sure she just said the defendant's or the victim's name, which may happen more than once here. But I'm pretty sure this is mom, and I'm pretty sure this is why they're zoomed in on him, which is an interesting choice because at this point I might take Mr. Clean.
Approximately when that was?
She had moved to a place in Dover. It didn't last long there. The walls were really thin, and she didn't like the. No, it was like you could hear everybody, so she wasn't comfortable there. And
Okay. And do you recall approximately when she moved back in with you?
it was around Christmas.
Okay. Now, Victoria, I just want to point your attention to the night of February 8th into the early mornings of February 9th. Do you remember that time period?
Yeah, I remember Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So are you talking about Tuesday?
So Tuesday into Wednesday.
Wednesday morning, yes.
So during that time frame, was Rachel living with you?
Yes.
And at some point during that night, were the police called to your house?
Yes.
I just want to start by asking you, why were they called?
Rachel had texted me that she saw someone in the doorway around 4 in the morning. And then she came into my room and
I know
heard
that.
something. And
For sure.
her son was sleeping with her in the front room. So we went back in that room.
So you stated that Rachel had texted you, your daughter had texted you.
Yeah.
And she came in into your room.
Yeah.
So had you been able to hear any voices in the house?
You know, I did hear something like around the time she texted me. I probably thought it was her going to the bathroom or something.
Now, approximately at what time did you say you normally go to bed?
9 or 10.
Okay. So during this time, were you asleep? Were you woken up?
I wasn't woken up until that time, like 4 or so in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before 4 in the morning, how were you woken up?
I think the text came, and I was trying to go back to sleep.
Okay.
I was like, oh,
Where's Mr.
you know, I guess I wasn't that concerned at that point, you know, maybe she was just scared or, and then full on when she came in, we heard something.
Now, you're both in the same room
Mhm.
and you hear something. What did you do after that?
We went immediately to Weston was sleeping, my grandson was sleeping. And so we went into her room where he was, and then she called the police.
Can you describe what this noises that you were hearing really sounded like?
Like a shuffling sound, like I was maybe hoping it was a raccoon or something, but I think it sounded more human. And then that was concerning, and that's why we went back into her room.
Now, when Rachel comes in to your room,
Yeah.
can you describe her demeanor?
Concerned, scared.
So, Trey, now I'm gonna switch gears a little bit
Mhm.
and I want to talk
He's like
about
21,
your
22.
house.
He was
Let's talk
20
about the layout
when
of
this
your house,
happened,
just so that
I
the
think.
jurors have an understanding of what your house looks like from the inside and they can visualize what the areas that we're talking about.
Mhm.
I just want to ask you some preliminary questions. Did you have the opportunity to draw a layout of, I guess, both floors of your house?
Yes.
Madam Mayor, approach.
Yes.
If you want to do it,
All right, you've seen these. They can be marked as full exhibits. There's no objection.
Where do you want to sign first? So I'm currently showing you what has already been admitted as a full exhibit. This is State Exhibit 16. So do you recognize what I'm showing you?
Yes,
What is this a drawing of?
my home.
And is this, can you describe it? First floor, second floor?
This is the first floor. This is facing the street. It is right here. Mine right here. And then it's on the other.
I'm showing you what's been already admitted as a full exhibit. This is State Exhibit 17. Recognize what I'm showing you.
Yes.
What is this a drawing of?
This is a drawing of the second floor of my house. If you had come upstairs mostly, and then the attic area into the outside.
Permission to publish both of these to the jurors?
Yes.
And have victims step up.
The witness? Yes. You can step down, man, yes. The only thing I'm going to ask you to do is to try to pick your voice up because we don't have a microphone too close to you there.
Sure. So, Richard, I'm just going to start with the drawing on the left, which is that, would that be the first floor of the house? The first floor, yeah. So can you just point out for the jurors, where is the main entry where you normally go into?
Normally in the driveway is sort of her porch. I mean, on the porch there's a back entryway.
Okay. Now, where is, as soon as you go through that door, where in your house are you?
When you come in, you're in my kitchen.
Now, see that the kitchen has some sort of item in the middle. What is that item in the middle?
That's my kitchen island, where we put knickknacks and keys and things like that. when we come in.
Okay, now, just so that it is clear, which side goes towards Hyde Street?
Well, this is Kyle Street here.
Okay, so it says front room, what room is that?
I didn't want to say, all I can where we watch TV. It's just a front room of the house. So kitchen, you walk through, you have a living dining area. You walk through, there's a front room sort of to watch TV. And then this is the front main steps of the house. We don't normally use that entry. It's all between the two doors. It's kind of funky, but we don't use it usually. And then this is the stairwell going up.
So see that at the back of the house, it lists barn.
Yes.
You describe what this barn looks like.
Yeah, so the house is quite long and got a lot of rooms in it. The only kitchen is sort of the older kitchen, is sort of torn down, and we had it someday. You walk in, this is an old kitchen sink and an old kitchen toilet with another door, and then this is the barn area. It's rough lumber, it's storage, and where we just keep all my old stuff.
Can you access that main house through the barn?
There are two windows, one here and one here, and there's a door here. So if you came around the back of my house and around the porch, there's another entry. And this door lets you in here, and you can proceed to come this way, or you can go into the barn.
Now, let's talk about the second. So now let's talk about the second. So you mentioned the stairwell. So where does the stairwell lead to?
Okay, so if you came up the front stairs, you would land up here, and there's a bathroom in front of you. There's a hallway. My grandson's bedroom is sort of right off the landing. And then there's a little hallway, and that comes to the front room where Rachel's left.
So which one is yours?
My room is in the back, so it's, you have to go either this way or that hall, and there's back.
So I've tried the subtitles,
into the dressing room,
both putting them on and then using YouTube directly,
on top of the room.
and they don't pick up.
Right.
Not well.
Now, see that to the right, it appears to be
Believe me, I tried.
attic of the house?
Yes.
So how do you get to that area?
So,
man.
And then you're on the third floor, which is just open from the front of the house to the back. You know, Grace's bedroom is right here outside that door.
So would you say, do you have to go through your grandson's room to get to the attic?
Yes,
And see that outside, there's that little, I guess, other shape above, so what is that area?
So this is the third floor, it's all open to the roof like this on the main part of the house. And this back window, there's a window in the back and one facing the street. This back window, there's the roof of the barn. is there.
I'm gonna ask you to stand again. I'll ask you some more questions. I just want to make sure that you're able to identify those rooms.
What is this attorney smirking at? What's so funny, Mr.
So,
Clean?
Richard, you mentioned that you remember Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
So I just want to ask you some questions about the days leading up to the night of Tuesday on to Wednesday.
Mhm.
So did you notice anything strange in the days leading up? to that
yes, yeah. There were things that were off in the house. I had seen a window open. One morning when I had come down, it was open like this much in my living room. It was like a bay window, and the little window on the left was open and cold air was coming in. I'd seen some doors that I swear were shut and locked, and they were open, including like the front doors facing the street, and the back barn door. So I just was kind of like getting to the point, like, what's going on? You know, I didn't quite put it all together. I didn't know, but yeah, I had noticed some things that were off.
Okay. Now, was there anything missing?
On Monday, yeah. So on Monday, I moved my daughter's car. I have a single driveway. I moved her car out so I could get to work, and I parked her car across the way on Grant Street. And I brought the keys in typical fashion, put them on the kitchen island. And then I did a few things. I had to go to work. And then they were missing. I know Rich couldn't find them. They had called me, and I was like, you know, I had looked around a little bit, but I had to go to work. So that became sort of the thing, because she was stuck and couldn't go anywhere. She only had one set of car keys.
So once you realized that the keys are missing, what did you think you had to do at that point?
Well, we would have to get a key made, which is kind of expensive. It's like $400, I think. He started calling around, and we had looked everywhere. I looked on the road, thinking maybe I dropped them from when I moved her car, and looked under the kitchen island, looked everywhere I could think of. And then she or I don't know who, called the police to have them come over and see if they could open her car door and see if maybe they were in the car. So it was kind of like a big thing. We noticed it, you know.
Now, at some point, were you able to find those keys?
See a little bit.
Well, yes. So the police, they opened her car up, no keys. And then I think the next morning I was planning on getting a key made so she'd have a key. And I went into the kitchen, and on the floor, I had the key was on like a mask back in the COVID days, you know, like a fabric. I had tied it to that. And I saw them underneath my kitchen island, sort of peeking out.
Have you looked there before?
Yeah, yes.
You got an approach.
Yeah.
So, Richard, I'm showing you this image. It has already been pre-marked for identification as State's Exhibit 15.
Mhm.
Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
Yes,
What is that a picture of?
it's a picture of the keys.
And who took that picture?
I did.
Does that picture fairly accurately depict where the keys were when you found them?
Yes.
I'm going to ask to strike your hand for this as a full exhibit.
Okay.
All right, so the ID is stricken on 15, it'll be a full exhibit.
Thank you. May I close this with the jury on?
Yes.
He certainly won't be making the calendar.
So, Victoria, can you explain to the jurors what we're looking at?
It's a picture of the keys because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I found the keys. That's like nuts, you know, because we had already looked there so many times.
So I see that there's two different colors in that image. Can you describe what each color, the material, there's two different types of wood. Can you describe what those items are?
Are you talking about the fabric mask?
So there's like a blue piece of wood.
Oh, that's the bottom of the kitchen island.
So the blue is the kitchen island, and then the light brown is what is that in relation?
That's a shadow of underneath, like it's on 4 legs, so there's a
I
little,
wonder if they have cats.
you know, space.
Okay, so you mentioned that the key was attached to a
Or a puppy.
mask. So is that the mask that we're looking at there?
Yes.
Okay, now, just so that it is clear, so we looked at the image or the drawing of your house.
Mhm.
And you stated that kitchen island is right.
When you come in.
through that.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you go to, I guess you said you were looking at moving Rachel's car?
Yeah, that was the morning before,
So the morning prior.
Monday, and that was
Approximately-
Tuesday.
So approximately what time would you say you were going to move Rachel's car?
I can't remember the exact time, but I know I had to go to work, so I had to be to work by 9.
So
everybody
sometime
else
in
do
the
what I
morning?
did?
I looked at it and I
And
went,
what point, how long were you
I don't
out
think-
there?
they've heard of a
moving the
rotate
car?
button.
3 minutes, 4 minutes,
So once you moved the car,
Mhm.
where did you go?
back to the house.
And is that when you dropped the keys in the kitchen island?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I would have put them.
Okay. Now, once you drop the keys, I just want to make sure, the kitchen island,
Mhm.
how long until you realize that those keys were missing?
Well, till this morning, I think I took a photo of it probably like 8 in the morning because I walked in already to like, oh, gotta get a key made. Oh my God, there they are. You know,
So before you found them, when you put them in the kitchen island, when did you realize that they were not there?
you mean from the day before?
The day before?
Oh, when I come back from moving the car, you know, I wasn't thinking like, you know, exactly where am I putting these? I just put them where I would have put them. And then I believe it was before I left. I couldn't find them.
Hold on, there's an objection. And the objection? Come on up.
Call speculation.
All right, so sustained.
So you went in the house.
Stop mumbling,
How
defense
much time
attorney, and
passed
maybe he'll
when
hear you.
Couldn't find the keys.
5 or 10 minutes.
So from the moment you come inside the house, you put the keys in the kitchen island area,
Mhm.
5 to 10 minutes pass, and then you can't find the keys.
Right.
Were you still inside the residence at the time?
Yes.
Was that before you went to work?
As I recall, before I went to work.
So, Richard, that picture that we're just looking at, who took that picture?
I did.
And why did you take that picture?
Because I think I had posted something on Facebook. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember, but I posted something on Facebook about it because I'm like, oh my gosh, this kind of stuff always happens to us. And, you know, there was something like, here they are. I know I looked there last night. This is so bizarre. But I do have strange things happen sometimes. So it's just something I shared with my friends. Like, oh my God, here they are. I can't figure out, you know, how they showed back up, you know. And I made a point of saying I had looked under there many times.
Now, I know we're just talking about the days before the night of Tuesday into Wednesday.
Mhm.
Now, we move a couple of days ahead in time.
Okay.
And ask you some questions about the days after February 9th.
Okay.
Were you able to observe anything around the house that was also strange?
Yeah, a lot of things. But after, you mean he was taken away?
So after February 9th,
All right, so the objection sustained. The jury will ignore that last comment. So after
Okay.
February 9th.
After February 9th, yeah, that, I think it was I think it was the weekend. My daughter and I were looking for something out in the barn, and she saw it, I think, before I did, but the window, that's it's like on the first level, the window was propped up in the opening, in the casing, but it was loose, and so it wasn't quite, you could see daylight, you could see that it wasn't attached.
you're on that approach.
Yes.
Sure, I'm not showing you this image is already been pre-marked for identification as State Exhibit 12 for ID. Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
Yeah, I think it's upside down, but yep, that's the opening. The window wasn't tacked on.
And who took this image?
I took that.
And what, does that image fairly accurately depict what the window in the bottom floor of the barn looked like?
Yeah.
So Your Honor, asked to strike the ID and State's Exhibit 16.
Okay.
Right, there's no objection to 16, the ID will be stricken? Wait, I thought you said that was 12.
Yes, it is 12.
All right. So Exhibit 12, not 16.
Their
Your Honor,
argument is
any permission from
basically
Assistant
that
Juror?
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The defense's argument is basically that she wanted it. That's what their argument is.
So I'm also now going to show you this other image. This one
Makes
is
me
State's
angry.
Exhibit 14 for ID.
Yes.
You recognize this image?
Yeah, that's exactly as it was. And you can, I don't know if you want to show them, but you can see it's propped in. There's like this opening here. So it's like, what? We didn't see it before. We weren't looking, but we didn't see it before.
Okay. And does that image of the window fairly accurately depict how the window looked like
Yes,
to you?
yes.
So Your Honor, asked to strike the ID on State's Exhibit 14.
All right, so there's no objection to 14, the ID is stricken, and you may publish.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Juror, we're looking at State's Exhibit 14. Can you describe to your jurors what we're looking at?
That's the window that is in the back of the barn on the first floor. There's a little
It's not.
patch of land right behind it.
It's
There's
a
a stone
result
wall,
of.
probably 2 feet of land.
I mean,
And that's the
I hate to be
window
that person,
propped
but
up.
it's the result of
Not
the
in
patriarchy.
place,
It's
but
what it
propped
is.
up.
When did you notice that it was
The fact
that
that
way?
even think it's
I'm
reasonable.
going to say it was that weekend. I can't remember exactly the day, but it wasn't long after.
State's Exhibit 12. So now can you describe what we're looking at in State's Exhibit 12?
Yeah, that's without the window in it. I had called the police and reported it, and they came back over. And I think they took whatever records they needed or made notes.
Objections to the instructions.
Timeline-wise, was
I don't have an objection to the
first
instructions.
you observed it as?
Yeah, the way it was. And then
They
I think I
reflect
called
that
the
there's
police
not
and
an
they came right
immunity
over.
requirement for the burglaries,
They inspected
that
the
we're
area.
able to get the
Whoa.
restricted for the January 12th entry. And that it
Hold on.
includes
Wait a second.
the and remaining
Why are
language
there
for the
multiple
burglaries. of the
pieces
state.
of audio going? What is happening?
And just to be clear on the unanimity requirement, there is a unanimity requirement on the elements of the offense. In my opinion, unanimity is
All right,
not
is everybody
required
else-
on which of the two charged
I am paused.
offenses he
What is
had the
happening?
intent to commit when he either entered or remained unlawfully. That doesn't need to be unanimity on that, but unanimity on the fact that he intended to commit an
All right.
offense.
Hold on. What
Attorney
is happening?
Sabridge?
That's the only something I have. I understand it personally, I'm not going to play with the point. I think they do have to all agree with what it is, which offense he's actually intending to commit. I think that it should be an element, it should be unanimous on that. That's why I drafted the verdict form the way I did. Other than that, I have no objections to the form I have.
There's literally nothing else going on right
I
now.
understand personally.
Do you have any law in support of the idea that
No.
when
What's
this?
happening?
Okay. All right, so since there are no other objections, and the verdict form,
Okay. Well, we've
I did not
obviously
adopt yours, but any
entered a
objections to the
portal
way the
is what
form
we've
is
entered.
drafted?
I literally have none of that
All right.
playing right now. At
Well,
all.
very good then. We will, looks like you had
Sorry.
something else in mind this
Just a
morning.
request, Your Honor. So defense in his opening argued
Okay. All right. Whoa. What just happened? Holy cow. Oh, y'all. Not even my computer wants to play this. I'm blaming New Hampshire. Blaming New Hampshire. Sorry if anybody lives in New Hampshire. A bit, sorry. Not a lot, sorry. Just a bit. All right, let's see here. Let's get back to where we were, huh? Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? Good grief.
So timeline-wise, was it First, you observed it as.
Yeah, the way it was. And then I think I called the police and they came right over. They inspected the area out and back too.
Truth. Did they just accidentally show the mom?
Sure, I want
I hope
to
not.
ask you some questions about Rachel's items.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you normally keep those items in the house?
She had a memorabilia box, sort of her junior high kind of stuff. But she had a memorabilia box in the barn.
What type of items would you keep?
She had like school stuff. I think she had maybe birthday cards, just a bunch of things that were memories for her.
Anything in writing?
She wrote stuff. She wrote poetry and poems for school back in her junior high days.
And where would you normally keep those as well?
In the box.
At some point after February 9th, did you find any items that were left behind?
Left behind. I don't know what you mean.
So were there any items that you found around the house that neither Rachel nor you put them there?
Objective for the question.
Overruled, go ahead.
May I put it?
Of course,
Oh, okay.
just one moment, okay?
Sure.
Oh, white noise again. Oh, look at that. That's not really an updo. It's like a half updo. Oh, and now they forgot to unmute everything. Right?
I had seen,
Oh, no,
looks
we're
like a
back.
shipping label, you know, and on the front it
Where's
said, "I love
RA
you,
when you need
Rachel."
him?
I thought it was something maybe she had, was gonna, put on a box, or it was
Get
a
him in that
Christmas
courthouse.
package thing. And so I picked it up and I turned it over and there was a note.
Do you recall what the note looked like?
Yes.
Got an approach.
Yes.
She fell in a portal, also known as her
So-
internet. Her internet's
Sure,
run
I'm
by
showing you,
John
I'm showing you
Thomas.
two images. The first one is marked for identification as State's Exhibit 10.
Mhm.
The second one is also marked for identification as State's Exhibit 11.
Yes.
So do you recognize both of these images?
Yes.
And with those images fairly accurately represent the note that you found?
Yes.
Do you remember when you found that note?
It was after the break-in, and I don't remember the day, but I did call, I think I called John Sunderland, and I wanted to bring them the note.
Were you able to bring the note to?
Yes.
Now, is this a front and back picture?
Yes.
So, Your Honor, at this time, I asked to strike the ID and give us the full exhibit.
10 and 11, all right, so the ID is stricken on both, 10 and 11?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, on both. And you can publish.
It's true. Ooh.
So, Drake, can you identify
Everybody
where
use your
you
barf
found this
emoji.
note?
It was on the porch, and as I had said, there was like a trash and I was just cleaning the porch up, and I saw it, and I just happened to flip it over, and that's when I was, really concerned.
So, can you identify what it states in that note?
Yeah, it says, "I love you, Rachel."
Then you said the back part also had a writing.
Yes.
So, State's Exhibit 11?
I most certainly did not.
Are you able to read that from here?
I might be better off reading it from here if I can. This really scared me, but it did say, "Please forgive me for whatever I do. I'm sorry, goodbye. Love you, don't you ever doubt it, like ever. I don't know why I am so stupid." So I'm not reading that probably in the order, but that's what it says.
So once you found this note, what did you do?
And I called George Sunderland right away because I was scared.
Were you able to hand them?
I went to the police station with it, yeah. And I think I tried to put it in a bag so, didn't have any fingerprints or anything, but.
Do you know how much longer you'll be on direct?
Probably have like 4 or 5 questions.
Why don't we try to finish then?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. See what you've done? This is what happens when you do something you don't think about anybody but yourself. Oh, he makes me angry. I feel okay saying these things because he was indeed caught on their roof trying to leave. And now we've lost the audio.
I just have a few couple questions. Just want to turn back into February 8th into February 9th.
Okay,
Did you go into the attic that night?
Wednesday morning.
And can you describe what you were able to observe in the attic?
Yes. Walking up the stairs, I saw a pair of my daughter's fishnet stockings in a package. And then at the top of the stairs, there was a cup of, looked like urine in a plastic cup. And then at the top of the stairs, or up on the, once you're up on the 3rd floor, there was some McDonald's food. And there was something, I didn't know what it was, but it was a small square with blue masking tape or painter's tape on it. I didn't know what I was looking
Which
at.
she's defining as
Any
the
other
tile
food items
that he was
that
attempting
you
to
saw?
put on her
There was
so we could
some-
track her.
I think graham crackers. I know that there was hash browns, something. I know there was a meal up there.
Did you have graham crackers in your kitchen?
Yeah, and it matched to me. It matched from my box of crackers that were in my kitchen cabinet.
At any point did you give you yourself, defendant, permission to eat?
Never,
in your attic?
never, never, never.
Have a group going on.
Yes.
Which I have no further questions for you at this time. I think we might take a break now. Attorney Sargent will probably have some questions for you.
All right, folks, so we're going to take our lunch break now. Because we went a little longer than I anticipated, we'll take the lunch break till 1:30. So we'll start at 1:30. Please leave your notes behind.
Ooh, there it is. There's that crackle and pop. Ah, there's the fade. Well, that's not how I decided. There's back. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I wonder why I did that. Anybody want to tell me? why did I cut it like that? Oh God. Look at this B-list Uncle Fester.
Please be seated.
No, sit down,
All
sir.
right, folks, while you're
Sit
getting out your notebooks,
down.
I'll ask Attorney Starbranch to
Wish
begin his
list, John
cross-examination.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go. Mumbles a lot. Let's go, Mumbles. Too bad you're not a penguin. You'd at least be adorable.
Victoria's fine.
Over here. Have you done that?
No,
Okay, well, since you-
nice to meet you.
I'll ask you a couple questions, is that all right?
Mhm.
And I would, first tell you, this is on piggy, but if she say yes or no, I said, okay, we'll get out.
Sure, okay, yes.
I want to direct your attention to evening of February 8th, 2022.
Mhm.
That was yes?
Yes,
Sorry, I believe I'm not going to do this week. That evening, what time did you say you went to bed?
normal for me is probably 9 or 10.
Do you have a specific recollection of when you actually went to bed that evening?
No,
Had you gone to bed already when
You're there.
somebody came with a truck to see your daughter?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay. Did you know that?
For now.
Why was Mauricio with it? Is it?
I heard about that after the fact.
I don't know how to answer that. But I'm asking,
Did I hear it?
that at the time?
No,
Okay. Now, as I understand it, you were actually woke up a little before Rachel came in to talk to you, is that right?
yes,
And you had heard some footsteps?
I heard something.
I got it at some point you probably might have heard them.
Yeah, probably hoping.
Well, yeah, sure.
I do have some in my attic on top of my bedroom.
So that would make sense to you, you heard that.
Yeah,
And at some point, Rachel came in to you, and she said to you, the first thing was, I think I heard something, right?
yeah, she sent me a text saying she thought she saw somebody in the doorway, and then she
Possible.
came in.
And when she came in, she actually said to you, I think I heard something.
Yeah,
Okay, that's.
I mean, yeah.
That's what she said.
Mhm.
Okay. Did she tell you she knew it was?
No,
Did she tell you
That's their
that
entire
she received a
defense.
text, that she was texting somebody who she knew was upstairs?
no,
Did you know she was texting him?
no.
You indicated to me, I'm sorry, you indicated direct examination that Rachel was the one who called the police,
Yes,
and you were actually right there next to when she did that, right?
yeah, we were in her room.
And in fact, have you been able to listen to the 911 calls and do that for you?
Recently,
And you'll agree with me that Rachel doesn't sound like she's really panicked, does she?
that's her way that she talks, more or less.
I understand. Understanding that, you'll agree with me that the 911 tape, she doesn't really sound upset, scary, right?
I don't agree with you.
If I play that for you, that.
If you want to play it, go ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, there it is.
There being no objection, go right ahead.
I thought we'd bring it down there, so, just put it here.
It might be helpful as well if the microphone can be put in front of the laptop to be able to hear it. Yeah.
It's not gonna help a damn thing. Not at all. And yes, this attorney's name's Harry Starbranch.
You just listen to what this key is playing for you, and see if that directly.
Hi, I think I can hear someone in my house, and I swear I saw someone, and I'm really scared to go check. 44 Highland Street. Rachel Nunez.
34 Highland Street.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a big white house on top of the hill.
You think you saw somebody in there?
I mean, I can imagine this sort of thing, but I swear I can sense on someone that I can, hear something that's, in that line in the attic.
You can hear something up in the attic.
Yeah. It could be.
21. Victims
I think it was off of
27, I think.
You can hear something in the house. You're not sure. It could be something in the attic. Request the police come check it out. But you think maybe you're not going to the attic.
It could be. Yeah, something is walking around, I've noticed this person also sometimes looks to me sort of, I'm scared of that.
You have somebody else in with you at the house now?
Just meet my mom and then my son and the company.
Hang on, just hand up right now. If you want to turn the light on, be on both sides.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But Rebecca, memories will not really sound like she's afraid.
I think you're going to have to wait and talk to her yourself as far as That's her demeanor. She doesn't scream and carry on. She would just be calmly talking because she just talks that way.
You agree with me that she didn't tell the dispatcher she knew who was up there?
I didn't hear that part, but she didn't. I thought she said something about a stalker.
No, she said she was sure. She's on the wall.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. You can refresh her memory as to what it was on the tape?
We play again, I suppose.
Do you have that discrete portion? You'll need to bring it to the microphone so we can hear it as well.
He looks so young.
25? Trying to do the math. 24, 25. There you go. Thanks.
34 Highway High, is there a
Yeah.
what apartment number are you in?
It's the Great House on top of the hill.
You think you saw somebody in there?
I can imagine this open, but I swear I can talk to them and I can hear something else, in my line. In the attic.
Did you hear something on the attic?
Yeah.
It could be 5.
Okay.
I think it's off of 34 Highway Street, they hear something in their house. They're not sure, it could be something in the attic. Request police come and check it out.
She could be, someone was walking around like I've never seen her look. Also sometimes looks funny, so I'm scared of that.
Somebody else in the house now.
It's just me, my mom and then my son and everything.
Someone's a police department.
I could hear better this time.
And you agree, she didn't say to the dispatcher that she knew who was up there? Did she?
I think she wasn't sure. If you're asking me,
Let her answer the question
well,
first.
right, thank you. She wasn't sure, it sounds like to me. She sounded scared. She had said to me that she saw somebody in the doorway. And I was thinking raccoon, because wouldn't that be nice? But I don't, she said on there at the end, there was a guy stalking me.
She didn't. Wasn't that you?
That was her. I said raccoon. I think I could hear myself say raccoon.
So my question is, did she say who it was?
No.
And let me ask you this, before that evening, had you heard the name Mauricio?
Yes.
You did? What she heard about Mauricio?
It was 3 or 4 weeks prior, and she said this guy was bothering her, and he wouldn't stop. And I told her she should call the police.
She didn't do that, did she?
I don't know. She didn't say anything more to me about it. I work full time, and I come home and I'm dealing with a little boy and her, and I may have asked her about it, but when that all happened and she said stalker, it was like, oh God, here we go.
So you were aware that she had a relationship with Mauricio?
No,
Did she tell you she had sex with Mauricio?
not prior to this.
They
no.
are.
I thought I'd
They're
ask
just
you.
not as aggressive as
At the time, did I know? No, I did not.
And did she tell you at some point that she had sexual penetration with Mauricio the night of this?
No,
Did you know that?
no.
You agree with me that Rachel was in charge of it, right?
No,
You want to hear that? You want to hear that? You agree that Rachel doesn't tell you?
does everybody tell everybody everything? No, I did not know that.
The question I have, does Rachel tell you?
No,
Anything else? You have a fireplace and a tea set. That Rachel brought with her, correct?
they were delivered to my house.
Oh. And did she tell you who those are from?
His name's right on the label, and I was very upset about it because you don't know who you're dealing with on the internet, and it's not a safe thing to do.
Did you know she was on OnlyFans?
Yes,
Sit down, Harry.
Right, I'll redirect.
Yes, sir, just briefly.
I need a new graphic for that one.
I find it funny that he's a bald man named Harry. Just saying. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I can't believe it took me that long to get there.
Sure, I just have a few questions for you, just for clarification purposes. So I know you were testifying about some of the information that you knew that night.
Right.
You did mention that you learned some information after the fact. Who did you learn that from?
Rachel,
Now, that audio that we just heard from the 911 call, where were you when that call was being made?
in the room with her.
First, say that you were both together while the call was being made.
Yes.
Were you able to tell in that close vicinity if there was anyone else right there at that time?
No, we heard something, but it's not like I knew exactly what was happening at that point. I had said, I think raccoon, because, I was looking for a simple answer. But when she was talking and she said, oh, the stalker guy, that concerned me because she had mentioned him before and was upset about it.
Now, were you able to also hear during that audio call, Rachel mentioning her being scared?
Yes.
What was she scared of?
Hold on, sustained.
What wasn't she able to do because she was scared?
What wasn't she able to do because she was scared?
Correct.
I don't understand the question.
So did you listen to the audio statement that we just played?
Yeah.
Drew, listen to the officer asking if Rachel was able to go check the attic.
Oh, I didn't know.
So just to make sure, at any point while you're with her,
Yeah.
did you two leave?
No, we were protecting each other and protecting my grandson.
Now, Richard, I just want to ask you just a few questions about some of the conversations that you have with Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't know that she had an OnlyFans.
Yeah, I do know that. And it's not a crime as far as I know. Yes.
So does Rachel tell you who she has sex with?
No.
So it's fair to say that they are paying attention, doesn't it?
Yes, it's very fair to say that.
Everything on your own?
Yes.
From what I'm seeing here, this case of burglary, quote unquote,
So, Richard, even though you did know that
Class C
she
felony.
had OnlyFans,
Mm-hmm.
was who she was having sex with something you wanted to know?
Objection, Robert.
Overruled, go ahead.
3.5
God,
years
no.
to a max of
I know.
7
Would you
years,
want to know your kid's sex life
possibly
or?
per charge.
Take it, Victoria.
She's
any,
asking
further
the
cross?
I would move in
prosecution.
the employee. That is,
I guess,
Do you want to approach?
no, so we're not objecting, but it wasn't marked, it can be marked.
You want it in as a full exhibit? All right, defense A is a full exhibit.
thank you.
Stay close down, girls.
Oh,
I'm all
Sorry.
set.
so
Okay.
then you may step down in your excuse.
All right, thank you so much.
It is, Mom.
I'd be salty too, though, if I was her.
For real. Let's see. Yeah, I would say so.
Good afternoon. If you could come up to the witness stand,
Thank you, Robert.
and when you step into the back, if you could remain standing. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give to the jury will be the truth and the whole truth under the penalties of perjury?
I do.
Please be seated.
Oh, new fella. Bearded fella. Take that, Harry.
State your full name, spell your last name.
This cameraman is not great.
S-U-N-D-E-R-L-A-N-D.
And sir, what do you do for a living?
I'm the captain of the investigations division for the Summersworth Police Department.
And how long have you been the captain of the summer police department?
About a year.
You're in prior to that?
I was a detective sergeant.
And how long have you been in law enforcement for?
Since about 1997, minus 1 year.
So let's direct your attention to
I'd be worse.
Wednesday, February 9th, 2022. Were you on shift that day?
I was.
Were you working in your capacity as detective sergeant?
I was not. I was filling a vacancy as a shift supervisor due to staffing issues.
And so when you came in that morning, what were you expecting to do that day?
Work control shift. I was expecting to supervise day shift of the Somersville Police Department.
Like out on the road?
Yes, in uniform, out on the road.
And when you came in to work your shift, I guess, did that ultimately happen?
Not really.
And why is that?
When I arrived for shift, I met with the off-going shift supervisor to kind of debrief and see if there were any issues that were going to carry over into day shift. That led into her briefing me on this situation.
And who's that?
That would be Sergeant Nicole LaFave.
And so you're briefed by Officer LaFave, or Sergeant LaFave, excuse me. And do you the two of you kind of like work out any sort of plan or follow-up about the burglary that happened the night before?
Objection.
Yes.
I think he just likes to get up and walk around.
Sorry, Captain, did you make any sort of plan in reference about the alleged burglary that happened there?
Yes, based off what she told me, I suggested following up with Mauricio to see if he would consent to a download of his cell phone, given what she explained to me as the circumstances.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, she had referenced text messaging conversation. She had referenced OnlyFans content, and somehow they were intertwined. It appeared that Mauricio had been talking to Rachel at some point. And given the fact that there were communications, I believe that they'd be relevant to the investigation.
And did he give any sort of a story or account of why he was there the night before to LaFave?
He probably did, but I don't know the details of that.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Part of going through his phone potentially to get information that either confirms or dispels, I guess, his account of what happened.
Yes.
So do you ultimately get his permission to search through his phone?
Yes, he grants consent.
Can you tell us briefly how you search the phone?
So in this case, I connected his phone to the Cellbrite, which is a mobile forensic suite that we have at the police department, and we obtained a download of his phone. Actually, we obtained several downloads of his phone. Different downloads vary in degree of the information it gathers. In this case, we ended up with a logical, which is the base model, if you will, and a file system download, which is a little more aggressive. It gets a little more information, but certainly not all the information from the phone.
So you were able to get that download with his phone, and you said it doesn't necessarily have, I'm sorry, I guess I want you to clarify, it doesn't necessarily have all the information, or?
That's correct. Those two downloads do not get all the information in the phone. I was unable to get a physical extraction, which at the time, or excuse me, I was unable at the time to get a physical extraction based off either my computer or the type of phone it was. It was not an option to me then, so I didn't do it.
But are you able in that download to get things like text messages?
Yes.
Phone calls?
Yes.
And pictures?
Yes.
And, downloading the phone, is it required to physically have the phone?
Yes.
Are you able to give it back and still maintain that download? It's probably a question.
Yes, we give the phone back. Well, we can give the phone back after a download. Once the information is downloaded, it's retained in the computer system.
So you ask for permission, you take the phone, you download it. Where is the defendant?
At that time, he's meandering around the lobby of the police department.
Why?
Because his car was towed, his car was at Eddie B's towing yard in Maine. And he didn't have his phone. He couldn't make any communications to try to find a ride. He didn't have any money. His money was in the truck. He had no place to go. So he was just waiting for his phone to be given back.
Were any arrangements made to get anything out of his vehicle for him?
Yes.
What was that?
Dispatch had been trying to get in touch with Eddie B to at least get him some of his property and the shoes, since he didn't have any shoes at the police department. They were struggling with that, so I suggested one of the day shift officers go over and retrieve the belongings from the vehicle.
And who that was?
I believe it was Officer Matt Barreau.
So you're downloading the phone, so you eventually give it back to the defendant that morning.
I do.
And prior to giving it back to the defendant, do you look at the actual download from the software, the physical phone itself?
I looked at both very briefly. I looked at the download on my computer to make sure it was consistent with the phone. I also looked at the phone to see what apps were open on the phone at the time it was last active.
And what apps did you note were open on the phone at the time it was last active?
There were apps for messaging suites. I don't remember if it was what specific messages. I don't know if it was the native messages from the phone or social media messaging. Social media sites were open, and a note was open in the phone, and the Tile app appeared to be open in the phone.
Can you tell me what you mean by no app?
So most cell phones have a note app where you can go in and you can manually take or enter notes into your phone.
So, given that in his phone now,
Yes.
when do you actually go through the download itself?
It was probably pretty close in time to when I gave him the phone back that I started going through it, but I don't have an exact time.
When you're going through this phone download, what, if anything, I guess, are you doing or are you looking for?
So I went and made sure that I had both message threads. One of the things that was told to me was that they were messaging and Rachel was using 2 different phone numbers. So I opened that up and make sure that I had that. And given that there was a connection to OnlyFans, I went in to check the videos to make sure there was no video on a phone that would indicate she invited him over or anything like that.
Did you find a video of her inviting him over?
I did not.
What did you find in the video set?
The first video that I clicked on wouldn't open. The second video I clicked on was a video of female genitalia. And the next video that I clicked on was a video that showed the layout of a house, if you will. It started in one bedroom, went down a hallway, and then into another bedroom and stopped.
Go
Starting
anything
the
but
video of the female
Scarlet.
genitalia. What,
I'll go that
anything,
far. How's that?
video of female genitalia struck you about that video?
Initially, nothing. I noted that the date and time on the video were certainly questionable because it was taken at I think 3:19 in the morning on February 9th, which was the day that Mauricio was arrested. The video was of just female genitalia. It appeared that it was taken in a manner that the person taking it knew he was taking the video, but the person that was having the video taken may not have known, because it appeared that in the video, a comforter, if you will, was lifted, exposing the female's genitalia, and that's how the video was taken.
And the video of the home, what if anything did you kind
I
of do
hope
about
her
that?
mom is gone.
In that video, I noted that the bed, the room that the video started in, had a patchwork type blanket in it, which is consistent to what the person in the video of the vagina was laying on. I also noted that as the camera left the room, it appeared to go down into a second floor hallway with a banister on the left-hand side, and then into another room, kind of giving me an indication it may have been a Victorian-style home. That is the type of home that Ms. Nunez and Ms. Burke live in. And I also noted that video was taken on February 8th, or around 10-something in the morning.
So did you continue a further search of the phone download at that point?
No, at that point, my computer had actually kind of froze.
Okay. So what did you decide to do at that juncture?
I think at first I went to see if Mauricio was still in the lobby so I could try to talk to him.
That's exactly what it said
But
in
he
the
wasn't,
affidavit.
so I ended up kind of making contact with Officer Burrill, who had gone to the truck.
And what did you learn from Borel?
When he went to the truck to get it,
Yes.
He was lifting the comforter. Yes.
That's so creepy. That's awful. It's terrifying.
We do have a couple people wondering about the stalking laws. We have them, but they're just not what they should be at all.
yes, I had dispatch contact Eddie B's and place a hold on the truck.
Is that just because you believe something could be relevant to the investigation?
Yes, I believe there was actually evidence in the truck at that point.
Now, you said that you checked to see if Mauricio was at the police department. I'm sorry, I don't remember if you said he was.
He was not, he was already gone.
So what do you do next after that?
At that point, again, with Officer Burrill, I showed him the 2 videos that I had seen. And I did that because he was now familiar with the contents of the truck. And I wanted him to come to the house and try to see if anything in the truck would match something in the house.
So did you in fact go to the house?
We did.
And did you go with Officer Burrell?
We did.
And so roughly like what time is this? You know?
Probably after 10, but before 11.
And when you went to the house, who did you meet with?
Rachel,
And did you explain why you were there?
vaguely.
What do you mean by
Yes,
that?
I didn't tell her the details of the videos that I had seen, but I told her about finding videos on Mauricio's phone that concerned me, and I wanted to see the second floor of her house to see if it matched what was in the videos.
And how did she appear? What was her demeanor like when you were telling her this information?
At that time, she was concerned and probably confused.
So what did you do after that?
Rachel brought us up into the second floor of the house, and that's where I saw the patchwork towel blanket was in her bedroom. There was a white comforter in her room. I think at the time it was on the floor. The hallway with the banister was the hallway leading from her bedroom out to her child's bedroom. So that at that point, it confirmed that those videos were of her house. And I actually explained to her what videos I had found.
What was her reaction to that?
At that point, she was upset. Her hands were visibly shaking. I asked if he had permission to take videos like that. She said no. I asked if he had permission to be in the house. She said
He got invasion of
At that
privacy.
point, you determined a
I don't know if there's anything
further
more specific.
interview of her might be warranted.
I did. I suggested a forensic interview, and she agreed.
What's a forensic interview?
So a forensic interview is an interview conducted here in this building in an office downstairs. It's conducted by trained forensic interviewers. It's not conducted by police. It follows a protocol so that people come in for the interview. They're asked, why do you think you're here today? They give an answer. The interviewer starts developing rapport with the person being interviewed, and then they start asking the questions. They ask open-ended questions so that the person being interviewed provides all the answers. And it's all recorded, so it's best case scenario. And then on top of that, officers or DCYF or detectives and other interviewers are sitting in another room watching the interview. So if there's something that's missed during the interview, somebody should catch it. The interviewer will take a break during the interview towards the end, check in with the team, make sure there's nothing that wasn't answered. So the purpose is to get a good interview.
So you scheduled that.
Difficult.
Yes,
But that would be done at a later date, is that right?
yes.
So we fair to say you didn't formally interview her right there on the spot.
No, I asked some basic, bare minimum questions.
Without saying specifically what was said, did she indicate to you anything anything that she might have noticed over the last couple of days?
Yes, there were several things that were odd to her, both her and her mother.
Okay. And based on that information, did you explore other areas of the house?
I did.
Can you tell me about that?
The first thing we checked out was the attic of the home. Inside the attic. So her attic goes up a few steps, then it turns 90 degrees to the left and goes up the rest of the way into the attic. As we walked up into the attic, right after the bend on the first couple of steps right there was a half-eaten hash brown. There was a package of open graham cracker cookies. And I think there was a McDonald's cup in that spot. As we went up into the attic the rest of the way, there was a McDonald's breakfast still in a bag. There was a water bottle. There was an iPod case that had, iPod, no. Those things you put in your ears from Apple.
AirPods?
AirPods. There was a case of those, and then there was something on the floor wrapped up in blue painter's tape.
Did you open that blue painter's tape?
We did.
And what
That
did you
double
find
Windsor
wrapped?
knot on his tie is
It was a
something
tile.
to behold.
So a tile is a tracking type of device that uses.
How do you know
Bluetooth
what that is?
Technology. You could attach it to your keys or something else. So if you lose them, you can find them.
Did you seize any of those items?
I did his beard.
We seize all of it, I believe.
That was me.
What about the beverage container?
The water or the McDonald's cup.
McDonald's cup.
Yes, it appeared to contain urine.
He's literally memorized the affidavit. I mean,
Finding
it's
that tile,
almost word for word for those of you who listen to me read it on Friday.
was that at all significant to you having gone through the phone?
Yeah, when I saw the tile, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit because when I had scrolled through the phone before giving it back, I recalled that tile was one of the open applications on his phone.
Wouldn't you be able to smell the McDonald's in the attic though?
Any other kind of examination of the house?
I did. I took
I don't
some
think
pictures
could
of her
if somebody was in my
her
attic.
house key, and then I also examined the exterior of the house.
But you're right.
Why did you end up
McDonald's is
examining the
pretty-
exterior of the house?
You can
It's in
smell a
there.
damn hash brown. Yeah.
It seemed like there was more to the story, and I also wanted to see if I could
Merch
find
idea.
any
You
indication
can
of
smell a damn hash browns.
What did you find in the house?
So I guess it would be the west side of the house. The driveway side of the house has a 3-bay window system
Just
that
shows
kind
how
of pushes
little
out a
we
little
got.
bit off the house. On those 3-bay windows, the center window, looking at the house, the center window and the window on the right both had what appeared to me to be prime marks on them. Both of them had
Yes.
red paint transferred, and it appeared that a tool was pushed under the window in a manner that kind of damaged the edge of the window a little bit, in a manner trying to push the window up, trying to force it open.
Do you observe anything about the actual window panes themselves?
I did. I don't remember if it was both of them or just one, but there was clear fingerprint impressions left on the glass in a manner like this, where it seemed someone was trying to push the window open from the outside.
Did you personally process those fingerprints?
I did not.
Did you get someone else from the police department to do that?
I did.
So did you, at that point, leave the house?
Yes, we were headed back to the PD.
And did you become aware of anybody that comes back to the PD?
Mauricio had come back to the PD. He was directed back to the PD by Eddie Dees to find out what he needed to do to get his truck.
And what did you do at that point?
At that point, I brought Mauricio into an interview room to try to ask some more questions and figure out more of what was going on.
And at that point, are you aware of what he had told Sergeant Dave about why he took her, about what happened?
I'm sure I was, to some extent, but I don't remember what I was aware of the day.
Oh. So you went to that interview room. Was that a recorded interview?
It was.
And this is the transcript. This is
I actually really used to like those.
So, we're going to go through some of this interview. I know it's very lengthy, so we'll just we'll go through it. This will be returning start right to follow along. So I'll refer to page numbers.
Yes, ma'am.
When you first sat down with, I guess, Mauricio, what was your attack? What were you trying to do?
I was trying to confront him on the additional discoveries, the video from the day before indicating he was in the house, and try to figure out if he was in fact the cause of the damage to the windows.
So did you confront him specifically with the pry bar and ask him whether he used that pry bar to get into the house through the window?
Yes.
And what was his response?
No, he did not.
If you need me to refer to pages, I can do that. Did you ask him if he was sure about that?
I did.
And what's the answer?
He was sure.
Did you ask him if his fingerprints were going to be on the window, pushing it from up from the outside?
I did.
What was his answer?
No.
Did you confront him with your suspicions about potentially stealing
He's the one who
one of
wrote
keys,
the
holding from
affidavit.
Monday?
I did.
That's why he
What
could
was
do
his
this.
answer?
No, he
I had to do the research.
claimed he wasn't even in the area yet.
When did he say he got
That
to
makes
the area?
sense.
In the beginning,
Yes.
I believe it was 11 o'clock that night.
So the 8th.
Yes, 11 o'clock at night on the 8th.
Did you confront him and ask him if Rachel specifically invited him over that night?
I did.
What was his response?
He said she did.
Did you specifically ask him whether she invited him in?
I did.
And what was his response?
No,
Did he quantify why she would not invite him
it's her mother's house.
in? Did you confront him again about this suspicion that he was there on Tuesday morning?
Yes,
Was that?
yes,
And what was his response?
no.
Did you flat out ask him if he had been breaking into the house since before that night?
Yes,
And what was his response?
no,
Did you ask about the background between he and Rachel?
I did.
Did he tell you how they started communicating?
Yes.
What was his response?
Could you give me a page number?
Yeah, 13.
Okay, what was your question again?
Sure. How did they start communicating?
Messaging.
Did he say how they were messaging or what application? 9 to 10.
Here,
I guess that was a poor question. I guess how they met is what I mean.
no, they met on OnlyFans.
Thank you. I think that's my fault. Sorry. And did you ask him how this kind of relationship, for lack of a better word, kind of progressed?
I did.
And what was his answer to that? That's 13.
Still on page 13?
Yes.
So they started by FaceTiming. And she started saying stuff to him. And I asked if he thought it was love, and he gave an answer. Well, at first, no, it was just, what a man thinks it is, And then after a while, we had been calling each other. She's been calling me, and I asked another question.
You can keep going.
I said, sometimes you're nice to each other, sometimes you're mean to each other, right? He said, at first it was just nice. I said, okay. Mauricio said it was nice. And then the second week, it was just like at first. She would be like, I want you here, come over, stuff like that. And it'll just be like when she was on her phone, like when she was drinking. And some of the times I couldn't tell because I didn't know her when she smashed, like drinking kind of. And then it was, what's it called? I sent her a fire dance.
The defendant tell you at some point that they had sex.
He did.
And did you start to say about how she would treat him basically after they had sex?
She was nice and then she was mean. She liked him, she loved him, and then she hated him.
Did you specifically ask him about the times that he came up to see her?
I did.
Did you ask specifically about the times he came up in January?
I did.
What was his answer to that?
So there was one day in January where he came up because he came up to go to Portsmouth. He didn't come up to see her, but she was going to come to Portsmouth and see him.
That's his answer, right?
Yeah.
So he tells you that he's coming up, but that they're going to meet in Portsmouth. Did he tell you the date of that?
I'm sure it's in here.
Okay. Page 23, 24.
The 19th of January. Excuse me, the 10th of January.
Did he mention the 20th at all during that?
No.
Coming up the 20th, I should say.
No, he did not.
But you specifically asked him about the times in January, and he just mentioned the 10th and 13th.
Yes.
When you were asking about that time as he came up to Portsmouth, did he say whether he even saw her on that occasion? Page 24 of that.
I did. He said that she was gonna, but she couldn't. So I said, she said she was gonna. Mauricio said, yeah. I said, did she come see you? No. Okay. His answer was because something happened at the house. I'm like, okay, I'll stay. And my response was, or she just didn't want to see you, didn't know how to say it.
What was his response to that?
Most likely, probably.
I'll get back to the night of the alleged burglary, the night. He had told you that he arrived at 11 p.m., is that right?
Yes.
Did he talk about what happened once he got there? Or whether they met at Rachel?
Yes.
Okay, and what did he say?
What page?
It's 30, 26.
26. Said he picked her up, they talked for a while, like 30 minutes. I asked where they went. He said, like, literally her house is right here and like right there across the street. He was referencing a gas station.
So saying that he picked her up and they just talked in the car, right?
Yep.
He didn't indicate at all that he had gone in her house when he came up that night.
No.
I guess consensually saying it.
No.
Did you mention or ask him about going to get food at McDonald's after that?
Yes.
Okay, and did he say that he went to get McDonald's?
Yes.
How did he structure the time frame from when he hung out with her versus when at McDonald's? Let's try that.
Yeah, he went to McDonald's after he dropped her off.
So they hung out, he went about McDonald's, he dropped her off, and then he went to McDonald's.
Yes.
And then bring it to the home, that's our understanding.
That's the way he's just explaining it at this point in the interview, yes.
And this would be like roughly like midnight, is that how he described it?
Right, today we're together around 12 to 12:30, 12:40, so he would have went to McDonald's 12:45, 1 o'clock.
I'll serve breakfast food at midnight.
Not that I'm aware of, I think they started at 5 a.m.
Did you again confront him with his belief that he had been in a house earlier than he was saying he was?
Yes.
And what's his response to that? Page 28.
I just saw the glasses. I just saw his glasses. Look at those reading
He said he went in
glasses.
around 2 in the morning.
Remember who said how he got in?
He got in through a back door, which I was very confused on at the time.
Sustained. Go ahead, move on.
He said he got into the back door. Did he say whether that door was locked or unlocked?
It was unlocked.
Did you confront him again with this, I guess, belief that he had used a red pry bar to open the windows?
I did.
And what did he say?
No.
Did he indicate he had a pry bar?
He said there was a yellow one in his truck.
But denied a red?
Yeah, I don't know if he denied a red one, but he would only specifically say there was a yellow one.
Did he again admit that he didn't have permission to be in the house on that evening?
Can you ask that again?
Sure. Did he again admit that he didn't have permission to be in the house on that evening?
Yes.
Why did he say or tell you initially that he was in the house?
Wanted to get his stuff back.
Did he qualify what specifically he was looking for?
At this point in the interview, I'm not sure. Do you have a page number?
33.
So he went looking for his fireplace, his belt, glasses, and beanie.
Did you confront him specifically with a video of female genitalia?
I did.
And what was his response to that?
What page?
39.
So the first time I asked him, this doesn't indicate his response was, and I don't remember, it's unintelligible here. But I asked what gave him the right to do that. He said he didn't know. I pointed out that her kid was laying in the bed next to her, and his response was, I don't know what's wrong with me, sir. I don't know what happened.
And to be fair, you were present for this interview?
Yeah.
So you were the person asking questions?
Yes.
It was a long time ago.
Yes.
Is the transcript recording help you remember the exact phrasing?
Yes.
Did you ask him about the tile?
I did.
What did he say the purpose of having that tile was for initially?
It was for his keys.
Did you confront him about the fact that it was wrapped in tape?
I did. And I pointed out the fact that blue painter's tape wouldn't attach to his keys.
And did you confront him with the belief that he's perhaps tracking her?
I did.
And we get into that at that point.
No.
Did you confront him about underwear that had been found in his trunk?
I did.
And what did he say about that?
What
Page
page?
37.
I like how after everything he asks what page. He wants to
Well.
make sure.
They're letting him do it.
I said,
Yeah.
what about the panties? He said, those are hers, aren't they? Excuse me. I said, what about the panties? Those are hers, aren't they? When did you take those? Mauricio says, I don't know.
So he didn't specifically deny taking underwear at that point.
No.
Oh, wow.
So at this point, you had confronted him a time and found him. What was your success in doing that?
Little.
So what did you do at that point?
At that point, I stepped out of the interview room to try to find another officer in the building that I could have a conversation with and explain to them that I wanted them to come into the room and portray that they were the cell phone person and that they'd been going through his cell phone for hours and confront him with pieces of information that we knew. That happened to be Officer Matt Guerrero. At first, though, when I stepped out of the interview room, I asked if he was thirsty, and he said he was. I asked if he wanted a Coke, and I ended up offering him a Coke, which I had Captain Matt Duval get for him.
So when you came back into the room, what did you notice him doing?
Nothing, but I was told about something he did, and I later saw it on the camera.
This video, interview audio video recorded.
Yes.
And what did you see him doing when you had stepped out of the room?
So as soon as he got the Coke and the captain had left the room, he grabbed the Coke and went to open it. And he set it down and he sat back in his chair. And you can see him, it's like he's thinking, and all of a sudden he closes his sleeves over his hands and he goes back to the Coke can and he wipes all the prints off and wipes everything off the top of it. So when I went into the room, I told Mauricio that I didn't need his fingerprints, I already had them. At that point, he got the Coke.
The Coke was truly just a Coke.
It was truly just Coke.
So does Matt Burrell come back into the interview room with you?
He does.
Okay. And does he confront him with this video that they're getting on phone the day before of the interior of the house?
Not the video itself, but he explains that he's been going through the phone He's seen the video and he knows all the details of the video, yes.
And at this point, does he start to?
Yes.
And is he asked how he knew whether or not
That's what I thought too.
he home when he would decide to go in without permission?
He would see that her Jeep wasn't there.
So he indicated he would keep go.
Yes.
So he acknowledged, or did he acknowledge taking that video of the interior room at 10:15 on the 8th?
Yes.
Did you ask him if he left the house after he took that video?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He did. He went back to his Airbnb.
Did you again confront him what was found in the car and ask if he had taken anything out of the house?
Yes.
And what did he say to him?
Photos and hands.
And after he started to acknowledge some of what you're confronting him with, what time did he say that he got there on Tuesday at this point?
I believe at this point it was 4 a.m. on Tuesday.
Can you tell us what he said he did that morning? At this point, it's page 59. I'm sorry, 63.
I don't like the word panties either. I say under britches and people make fun of me.
He parked around the street from her house.
Did he say whether he got him a food that morning?
He got McDonald's.
Did he say what he did with McDonald's?
He brought it in the house.
Did he say how he got into the house?
At this point, it was still the back door.
Okay. What did he say he did when he was in there?
He walked around and ate. He looked for his items that were his, and he took the video of the bedroom, the stairway, or excuse me, the bedroom into the other bedroom
Did he like to do that video?
because it was messy.
So he acknowledged leaving to go, leaving the house and he went to his Airbnb. Did he say what else he did during that time frame?
He ended up going to Target
Did you say what he went to Target for?
to get the tile.
Did you ask what the purpose of the tile was?
I did, but I don't recall his answer at this point in the interview.
Page 74.
He was going to put it in the car.
Do you
In
ask,
her car.
in her car. Do you ask why he was doing that?
I did. His answer was he doesn't know what he was thinking. He's going a little bit crazy. He just didn't really know. He was messed up in the mind.
Nothing about
Bye, Marilyn.
that she wanted him to do that.
No.
Bye, Marilyn. Thank you.
So he goes to the Airbnb, goes and gets the tile. So you asked him what time he got back to the house.
I did.
Okay, is that still like around 11:30, 12?
It's late. It's 11:30, 12 o'clock. Yes.
He talks about, again, talking to Rachel in the car.
Yes.
Does he say what time he broke back in?
Around 2 in the morning. He doesn't say a time, but he puts together a timeline. And off of that, I assume it was around 2 in the morning.
And you flat out asked him again whether or not she had invited him over at that point.
I did.
And what did he say?
What page?
80.
Yes. I asked if she invited him over. He said no.
Did you ask whether she invited him in as well?
Yes. And his response was no.
Did you ask specifically whether she told him to break in?
I did.
What was his answer?
His answer was no.
Did you ask why he went upstairs into her bedroom?
I did.
What was his answer? I guess a better way to phrase that is, did you ask if the reason he went upstairs is because he wants a video?
Yes. My question was, all right, is that why you went upstairs? Because you wanted a video of her? And Mauricio's response was, well, that, and also I was trying to find, well, like I was trying to find it and like.
So going to the video, did you ask him now that he was acknowledging more about taking the video?
Yes.
Did he acknowledge that when he took the video, Rachel was in bed?
Yes.
Did he acknowledge that she was not awake?
He did.
What about the fact that the son was there?
He said he didn't see the child in the bedroom.
Did he explain to you how he was able to take the video?
Yes.
And how did he do that?
He lifted up, I think he said he lifted up the white thing and took the video and zoomed in.
Did you say what the purpose of the video was for?
It was for him.
Please talk about what happened when Rachel woke up that morning.
Yes, but I don't recall.
We'll put it this way, did he talk to you about, I guess, running up the attic when he noticed that she woke up?
Yes, he went up into the attic.
At the end of the interview, did you give him the opportunity to add anything additional that you wanted to escape from?
I did. I gave him carte blanche, ample time to. I asked him pointedly if there was anything else that he did that we needed to discuss, that we needed to get out into the open.
Did he ever mention anything to you about, I guess, this being some sort of consensual break-in?
No,
Or plan for some sort of sexual tryst?
no,
Did he ever mention at all during the interview coming up on January 20th?
no.
So at that point, you have him write something for you.
I offered him the option to write a letter of apology.
And did he do that?
He did.
State 21, Brandi, look that please.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the letter that he wrote while he was there in the interview room?
It's a copy of it.
A copy of it, thank you. Is that like very accurate depiction of what that note was on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
As the IC strong publishes the role?
No objection.
All right. No objection to 21, ID is stricken.
You could go ahead, I don't know about that copy. You could just go ahead and read what that note says.
I don't know why I did this. I'm so stupid. What I did was a scary thing to do to you, and I'm sorry. I know you'll hate me, but it's fine. I deserve this. I am a horrible person, and I made your life miserable by doing this to you. I might go to jail, and I'm scared, so fucking scared. You are never gonna forgive me for this, but it's fine. I hope you and I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this, and you'll most likely hate me forever. Sorry is not gonna solve this. I made a something mistake. I did this to myself. I don't know why. I didn't mean for this to happen to you. I am disappointed in myself. I disappointed something, and I'm sorry.
After this interview concludes, do you ask if the defendant would be willing to give a DNA sample?
I did.
What's the purpose of that?
Given the fact that I knew there was a half-eaten hash brown in the attic, his DNA would be able to confirm that that was his hash brown.
And do you ask permission to search his truck?
I did.
And does he agree permission? Does he give you permission to search his truck?
He gives a permission for both.
So do you take a swab? Did you take his DNA swab?
Yes.
What ultimately happens with that?
They'll get sent to the state line.
And what about the search of the truck?
Myself and Officer Sieverts did that with Mauricio present with us.
So you physically went to the truck in the impound lot?
Yes.
And what was your purpose in going there?
At that point, we knew there were photographs of Rachel that belonged to Rachel in this truck. We knew that there were panties of Rachel that belonged to Rachel that were in the truck. And we had a very strong suspicion that there was a red pry bar used to enter the windows of the truck.
So you went to AB's showing, did you really search the truck?
Yes.
What items did you find in the truck?
We seized 5 pairs of female undergarments. I don't remember the number of photographs, but there were a number of color printed photographs of Rachel that were in the truck. There was 2 receipts that were in the truck that we took, one for Target, one for McDonald's, and a red Supreme pry bar.
And you said the defendant was with you.
Yes.
He acknowledged ownership of all these items?
He acknowledged the pry bar was his and the receipts were his.
Let's just say he acknowledged that he had taken the items that were his.
Yes, he acknowledged each of those items were Rachel's.
States 34 and 33 for identification.
Okay, but would that letter be pretty damning for his case?
I mean, he
and
doesn't
one
really
piece
have
of
one though.
leather.
He admitted to everything, right?
This first receipt on top is from Target from February 8th, 22 at 9:44 PM.
And what are the purchases?
At Target.
But
Depot
saying I'm
Market,
sorry shows
And-
that she wasn't
and
asking
Master.
for it.
That's something else.
I have a
I
hard
would-
time on.
And the receipt for
Yeah,
McDonald's.
is from the McDonald's on Central Ave in Dover, dated 2/8/22 at 10:06 a.m. for hotcakes, hash browns, an orange juice, and a bottle of water.
Not that I think she was anyway, but just based on what their
Yes, receipts in the shop.
defense is.
And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
go
mean-
show you it states 38. Yeah, for 35,
You better
37,
have like a
36.
contract or something
40.
saying that you're having that interaction. Like,
Yeah.
there
These
needs
are
to
the
be
panties that were in
something
his truck,
there.
the
You
center
can't
console,
just,
excuse me,
you
female
can't just
undergarments that
say
were in
that.
his truck in the center console.
Yeah.
And
Night
40.
Ivan, Night Boogie. Who else sick a
I
night?
don't know if you can tell from looking at it, whether that's also underwear.
I'm not sure if I'm underwear or bathing suit.
Okay. But one of the two.
Yes, that covers the lower region of the body.
I asked the ID be struck from the two receipts and from the undergarments, bathing suits or undergarments is 33 through, sorry, 33, 36, 37, 35, 40, and 38.
Any objection?
No objections, sorry.
All right, so the ID is stricken.
Sorry, that was not.
So Attorney Garrard, we'll take our afternoon break now. Folks, we'll break until 3 o'clock, and then we'll come back and finish the day to 4 o'clock. Please leave your notebooks behind. Thank you.
Please rise.
Did the cameraman just zoom in on the panties?
I don't know, did he? I don't know if I want to reverse that, so
Let's
you
not.
tell me.
Let's not. Let's not. Super inappropriate. I'm pretty sure he did.
You know who that guy looks like? He looks like the Wish version of Mike from Breaking Bad. That's what he looks like.
Who, the defendant?
No, the defense attorney.
Ah.
This is who he reminds me of. Just a Wish version.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's just so bad.
Please be seated.
It's like one of those what you ordered versus what you got.
Attorney Garrard, when you're ready.
That's so true.
I think I can recall a minute ago, this is looking at my teeth off, but I don't think we talked about pictures.
Not yet.
All right, this is 39. Did these? Okay, I might have moved it in maybe by the number, but
Gosh.
you have any objection to the photographs? No. So can you just tell me what those are?
These are a stack of photographs of Rachel at different points in her life from modeling. These were found in the center console of Mauricio's truck.
Okay, what about that top picture there?
It is a photograph of her in a pregnant state.
Oh.
And these pictures, any of them like nude photographs or anything like that?
I don't believe so.
In addition to all these items, did you also get the keys to the truck?
Yes,
Let's talk for a minute about the keys. What anything did you note about them?
so when I looked at the keys to the truck, there were, I think, 4 house-style keys, if you will. And one looked very similar to the key from Rachel's house that was attached to her key ring that I took photographs of when I was at the house earlier.
Did you ask the defendant about this?
I did.
And what did he respond?
I thumbed through each key with him, and he said one key belonged to his house, one key belonged to his room, one key belonged to his Airbnb, and one key belonged to a locket.
Like a necklace locket.
I mentioned that. I asked him, I think the simple question was the locket, and he said it's a big locket.
When you say house phone, you're talking about like standard key. Couple of things.
Yes, a standard house key.
Did you do anything with that key?
I gave the keys to Officer Seawards and directed Officer Seawards to go to the house and help Sergeant McKnight process the house while Officer Burrill rode with me and Mauricio back to the station.
And did you, yes, without getting into what Officer Seawards did with that key, did you also have Officer Barrel follow up with the defendant later?
I did. I had Officer Burrill interview Mauricio some more.
Okay. And what's, I guess, what was the topic of that talk about that further interview supposed to be?
Regarding the key and regarding inconsistencies that at the time indicated he had been in the house as early as Monday.
So did that sort of end your interaction with the defendant that day?
Yes, I think it did.
Was part of ending your interaction, like booking process?
No, he was booked by other officers.
Are you familiar with having looked at that booking information with his date of birth?
Yes,
And what is it?
3/7 of 2001.
So in early 2022, he would be.
He was 20 years old.
So the days following the night, were you alerted to anything from NCIC regarding the defendant?
Yes, so later I became aware that Mauricio had been entered into the NCIC, which is the National Criminal Information Center.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Every time the audio goes off, I panic because I think that it's my computer again, my internet again.
Just that white noise.
It scares me. Suzanne, enjoy lurking.
But now and again, come out from behind
Did
the
you
bushes.
endeavor to do any interviews with any potential witnesses?
Yes.
And who?
Well, I attended the forensic for Rachel. I interviewed Victoria Gork, Rachel's mother, and I interviewed, I think it's Casey.
And who's Casey?
To be a friend of Rachel's.
Going first to the interview of Victoria, and without getting into necessarily what was said, what was Victoria's demeanor like during the interview?
She was very upset. She had paused several times because of how emotional she was.
And did she talk to you about having reached out to the Summersburg Police Department to report a missing key?
She did.
That's what
Based
it
on
seemed
that,
like.
what you did?
I went back and looked at the historical records of Summersburg Police and found that on Monday, February 6th in the evening time, an officer was actually dispatched to the home to unlock Rachel's car since they couldn't find the house.
Do you actually have records of that? The police department?
Yes,
And does the police department typically keep records and get calls out to the staff like that?
yes,
Are they entered in the database simultaneously when they're taking these reports?
yes.
This is, is this that dispatch report?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me what time and day that police were dispatched for the report of keys potentially being locked in the car?
Oh, it's Monday, February 7th at 2011, which is 8:11 in the evening.
Thank you. I have this, the entrance is full exhibit and did not mark it yet.
Any objection? All right, it'll be a full exhibit, next number.
Look,
If you did
mentioned
that,
friend's interview with Rachel, we talked a little bit about.
I
Did you
will
bring
cry.
anything with you to that friend's interview?
I did. I brought several photographs.
And what was your purpose of doing so?
So they were
don't do that.
photographs that I noted as either evidentiary or I questioned what they were. And they all came from my analysis of the phone over the next couple of days.
Yeah, you're gonna have to translate it to English,
Do you attempt to get other?
and it's in
guess,
pesos,
records
I think.
relative to the rest of the investigation?
Yes, I did search warrants for a bunch of different places.
What about Google records?
But it should
I did
convert.
do a search warrant for Google
And what was the purpose of that?
to see if there were any information contained in the records of Google that weren't contained on the phone extraction.
And was there anything relevant to your investigation for Google?
There was a search about, there was a search late at night on the 7th, the 9th,
Yes.
in the morning when he was in the home.
Late night morning.
In the morning of the 9th. Sorry, I don't recall the exact search.
But seeing I'm sorry, when you're reviewing this information that comes back from Google, are you documenting it in a report?
Yes,
And is the purpose of that report to help you remember these small details?
yes,
But seeing a copy of that report helps you remember what the
Yes.
search was for.
it certainly would.
75.
it's spit and image.
Minus
So-
the whole strength.
The
thing.
search terms were
Yeah.
tell you something if you convince them. Now, my report indicates the search was on.
Yes, you want to come forward?
Who said approach was key was like the definition of oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Wait, let me
Yeah.
find it.
JT's like, BRB, hey, show the pics.
What time was that search performed from the Google record?
So my report indicates the search was at 7:12 in the morning. However, that's because the records from Google are in the universal time code, which has to be calculated based on where you are. That would make that search, given this time of year, at 2:12 in the morning on February 9th.
I ain't mad at it.
I don't really want to put his kids on. But
Did you also get T-Mobile records?
I did.
What's your purpose in doing that?
The phone downloads provided a lot of location information. It was actually so much that my system just couldn't process it. So I asked for records from T-Mobile, one, to verify communications that were in the phone, and two, to get the actual phone GPS data from T-Mobile.
And did you do anything with that phone GPS data?
I did. I sent all the GPS data to Nespin.
What is this?
Nespin is, I can't tell you what the acronym stands for at the moment, but it's a group that helps law enforcement agencies with investigations.
And what was your purpose in sending that information to them? What do you want them to do with it?
So that they can compute the data and make the location information more
Y'all can
readable.
submit that on the website if you want him. I think we're up to June of 2024.
Chris, you also get Snapchat records.
I did get Snapchat records.
And do the Snapchat records, Chris, were they communicating with Snapchat?
They were up to a point in January.
And you know why they stopped communicating with Snapchat in January?
Okay.
She asked if he knows. So the answer to that first is yes or no, and then we'll go from there. So yes or no?
Yes.
How do you know?
Objection.
Well, this is the foundation question. How do you know?
Based off my searches of the phone.
Did he also talk about in his interview whether or not they could stop talking on Snapchat?
I believe he did.
Page 7. Right.
He did, and that's because they had, she had blocked him.
Were the Snapchat messages ending is consistent with his story that they stopped communicating via Snapchat?
Yes.
Did you also go to Target?
Yes.
What was your purpose in doing that?
To confirm that Mauricio, that receipt matched the purchase and that Mauricio was the person in the store making that transaction.
Were you able to get stills from the surveillance of the defendant?
We were.
Is this a still from that surveillance
It is
of,
Mauricio walking out of Target.
and that's the still that you received from the surveillance from Target?
Yes.
I can have that entered as a full exhibit.
No, sir.
All right, that'll be a full exhibit, the next number.
Did you also get a call from Victoria indicating that she located something in the house?
Yes.
And did you take possession ultimately of what she gave you?
Yes, it was a no.
And who was the suspected writer of that?
Mauricio.
So I'm going to go talk now about the phone. You had mentioned on the 9th that you had initially done like a search of that computer craft.
Yes.
Was that it? Before your computer craft, did you do an in-depth analysis of the phone?
No.
After, or I guess in the days following, did you have to do a more thorough analysis of the phone?
Yes.
What was your process in doing that?
So at first, the first thing I did was answer for the phone. And I brought the phone to, I think I brought the phone here to the sheriff's department for a gray key download, which is essentially a mirror image of the phone, to determine what changes had been made to the phone from the original extraction.
Can you explain that a little bit further?
So basically what the gray key is it's a mirror image of the device. Everything that's on the device is available in the download. Whether or not the system you're using parses all the data is a different question. But that would show me if items were removed, if items were deleted. And it would also give me a lot more information that wasn't available on my other downloads.
So going back, why did you think that was a possibility? Why do you think that there was maybe potentially things deleted after you relayed? Can you just talk about like that sequence of events?
So originally, after the first download, we gave him his phone back. And I was aware, based on the investigation, that he had his phone for many hours. And even in the interview, when we had stepped out of the room, he would be actively doing something on his phone. So I believe he would have probably been deleting information.
Okay. So you had his phone initially, then you gave it back to him, and then you took it back for another download and compared it to.
Yes.
Was his phone password protected?
I don't remember.
I want to go down to look at the phone, initially the extraction, the data that was recovered from either the break key, second extraction, or the initial one. Did you review going back to January of 2011?
Yes.
Was there anything to indicate to you that in mid-January the defendant might have been paying some sort of break-in?
Yes.
What was that?
There was a video on his phone at either late at night, no, it had to be the early morning of January 20th. And the video was, simply put, the video was the phone on the outside of the building that had the wood frame window. I think it was a 6-pane window. And you can see the phone inserted through a missing pane and then go down to one specific corner as if the person were using the video to determine why the window won't open. Because the video kind of stops as soon as a nail comes into view and then it comes right back up.
And so that video was taken in the early morning of January 20th.
Yes.
In the days prior to that, were there any images of anything to indicate that the user might have been interested in doing a burglary? That's much of sense.
There were images in the phone of torsion wrenches. And a torsion wrench is a tool you use if you're trying to pick a lock. You use a lock pick and a torsion wrench. The torsion wrench puts tension on the lock, so as you're trying to pick it, once you get the tumblers to fall in the right spot, it will.
So January, remember when that image is from?
January 15th.
On January 15th, you find information about torsion wrenches.
Yes.
All right, and January 20th is the video of the phone going to the window.
Yes.
States 30 for identification. Can you tell me what that's a photograph of?
That's a photograph of a torsion wrench or a tension wrench.
And I guess where did this image come from?
This would have come from one of the downloads, but I don't know which download.
This was on his phone,
Yes.
and you said that this was dated January 15th.
Yes, I believe this was January.
Could you write that date somewhere on the page? For me?
Do you want me to mention?
Sure. Thank you. And is this a fair and accurate picture of the image that you found on his phone?
Yes.
And fair and accurate to say that was from January 15th of 2020. You wrote 2023.
2022.
I asked the ID to be struck on 30.
Any objection?
No,
ID will be stricken on 30.
Was there any other photographs from January 20th?
Yes, there was a photograph of a poem.
It states 29 for ID. Is that the photograph of the poem?
It is
What's the poem titled?
Dear Summer Raindrops.
And who's the author of the poem according to this photograph?
Send it
Rachel
to us
Nunez.
via the website.
And is that the photograph you found on his phone
Yes,
from was it January 20th?
it was January 20th.
Did you write the date somewhere on there? And the time, if you know it.
I don't.
Seeing a copy of the metadata help you remember the time it's
It
taken.
would.
Thank you, Diana. I've been at the beach today. It's that
So that
sun
was
glow.
28 in the morning.
The ID, I asked the ID be struck from 29 as well.
If there's no objection, ID will be stricken.
Okay, so this is, we're escaping me now, but
Yes,
Okay, so that's just a photograph, literally a photograph of a written poem.
Oh, well,
yes.
there's her name.
This is the. What would this be?
That's a photograph of the tension and torsion wrench.
We're looking into a couple of things.
1 second.
We're gonna have a talk about that tomorrow. There's a couple, and any that y'all have, send them to us through the website.
Please. Preferably with good audio. Although this one sets the bar real low.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's a still image of?
That's a still image of the window that's recorded on January 20th. That window is actually in the back barn area of Victoria Park and Nunez's house.
Alright, let's try and find it. Okay, this is-
Oh, that's the window frame.
So this is states 19,
I think.
The number again, please?
Sorry, 19. So
Oh, is
that's
this the video
struck
you
under the full, I would have to mark it, so I guess I asked that happened before.
His office forms a human object.
No objection? All right,
Just gonna
so,
have to mark the time on it.
all right.
That.
So if you could just mark with the Sharpie, has the date of January 20th, 2022, if you just mark the time,
I don't know the time.
that's fine.
My report would help.
Let's have
I
that,
can't promise that.
that data if that helps you.
Yes.
Once more. Might help.
Oh, okay.
So that was at 2:51 in the morning.
I guess at least the witness is mic'd okay. Truly.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna play this.
I'm gonna need you to send that to us via the website. That's fascinating.
Let's do that one more time since it's skipped the beginning.
What the heck was that? Was this him? What the?
So that's the video you're referencing, the photo in the window.
Yes.
Now, we talked about Snapchat messages. Were you also able to review text messages sent between the defendant and Rachel?
Yes.
And was there more than one text thread?
There were.
Same number?
No, two different phone numbers
Two different phone numbers for who?
for Rachel.
Were there any other platforms that they were messaging on?
There were.
Can you just name some of those that you recall?
I remember they were messaging on Snapchat. He was messaging somebody on Instagram, but I don't remember if it was Rachel. I don't remember if they were using Facebook.
Well, I guess conversations of significance, where would have those been located to?
So the messages on the phone, both phone numbers. He was using a multitude of different platforms to text Rachel or to message Rachel. He was using Instagram to message Casey. And those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. So did you review the conversations that they had, specifically directing the attention to January 19th and 20th?
Yes.
Did you see anywhere in any of those messages any indication that the defendant told Rachel that he was here in Hampshire?
No, he never told her he was here.
And directing your analysis of the phone up through February 7th, was there any media that you were able to look at this phone that had dates of February 7th?
I don't remember.
I'm so
Were you seeing a copy of
scared.
that metadata? Copy, remember?
Yes.
No, it didn't. Perfect.
Oh, on February 7th, there were photographs in the phone of him taking pictures of a router.
And do you know if he was wearing anything in that photograph? I know it's just a hand, but.
So it's a left hand with a bracelet that appeared to be the same bracelet that Mauricio was wearing at the time he was arrested, the time he was booked, the time I interviewed him.
Photograph states 26
They just need to put together a binder and leave
Is
it
that
up
the
there.
picture of hand with the bracelet
Yeah.
that he was describing?
It is.
Can you tell me what time that picture was taken?
This was taken at 8:50 in the morning, 8:50 a.m.
Right on there somewhere, the time and date.
What? Is he marking an exhibit?
It looks like that. He is, yes. what
So has
what
it,
is happening?
has it been admitted into
States
evidence?
26, I'd ask that that be entered as a full.
Any objection? So the ID is stricken on 26?
Any significance in the numbers in the bottom of the logo for the router, to your knowledge?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a
why-
new one.
Hold on. So he's describing it, the jury's there, and they haven't even admitted it to evidence yet? I'm so confused. Don't we do this before the
You also
jury
looking
comes
at his
in?
phone, get any location data information from that day as it pertains to the virus network?
Yes.
Can you tell me how if that works in a phone download, how you're able to tell where somebody is based on a wireless network?
So that's the great key download. That's the download that gives you more information. The copy of the phone, if you will. It has the ability to tell you what devices.
I need
what
a lawyer.
networks
Where's
connect
Matthew Harris?
Or that the
Right.
device connects to.
And we're able to look at information from February 7th of what networks he was connected to.
I did. I don't recall exactly what networks he was connected to on the day.
So are you gonna be able to remember the exact time?
Yeah.
No, but my report went up.
Okay, you wrote that down in your report.
Yes.
Let's hold on to that, and I'll ask you a few questions. But first, can you tell me around early morning on February 7th, what wireless network he was connected to?
So around 03:30 hours, he was in the area of Rachel's home. He was connected to networks on Grove Street, Grand Street, High Street, and Highland Street, among other streets in the Hilltop area.
When you say Hilltop area, that street?
So their street, Highland Street, is a street in the Hilltop area. It's called the Hilltop area because it goes up to the top of the hill. And it's, for the most part, you have High Street on the bottom of the hill, Grand Street at the top of the hill, and every other street connecting it.
Can you tell me how long he's in that area for approximately, or when he leaves that area?
So he leaves the area, according to the wireless networks, he leaves the area around 1 in the afternoon and goes to Target Home Depot area.
Can you tell what time he's leaving? What time he's back in Rachel's area?
By 2 o'clock, he's back on the road, heading back in the direction of Rachel's house. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, excuse me.
In the area targeted from people days, people that are familiar with Summer's work, what other stores were in that general area?
So at the time, you would have had Home Depot, Target, Walmart, Steve Irving, another the Walmart gas station. KFC, Burger King.
Are you aware of any of those establishments sell keys?
Nice.
Home Depot makes
My
keys. I don't
baby's
know what Walmart did at the time.
And when is he heading to? He's back heading towards Rachel's house at what time?
By 2 o'clock.
Any other location did from that day?
At 11:57 at night, he's again connecting to networks on High Street, and it appears that he's headed to Rachel's home.
Moving on to the next day, February 8th. In your analysis of the phone from February 8th, were you able to find any media photographs of relatives to your investigation? In phone.
Yes,
And what were those?
February 8th would have been the video he took of her house. I believe he took photographs of her router again. And I feel like there's something else, but I can't think of it.
Fair enough. Just to agree. States 24 for identification. Tell me what that is.
This is a photograph of Rachel's bedroom.
And do you recall when he took that?
I don't,
See if I can metadata to help you remember.
it would,
You want to write down what day and time that was taken.
Yeah.
it was taken on February 8th at 10:36 in the morning.
Anything in that picture of significance to you?
So on the left side of the picture towards the bottom of the bed and in the center of the picture towards the bottom of the bed, it looks to be the red bathing suit type of item, or at least half of the red bathing suit item that was taken from the truck.
The end to be struck on 24 and physical.
So ID stricken on 24, it'll be a full exhibit.
And this states 20 for identification. Video on this, but I'm going to have you identify the still first for me. That still is an image of.
This is of the still is an image of the video?
Yep.
And that
That's what I'm
was,
asking.
yeah, yes, it is.
And can you tell me when that video was taken?
10:36 in the morning.
Would you mark the disc with that, please?
I've never seen this before. I've never seen him be able to read off of his notes before. Not him specifically, but a witness. And I've never seen them be able to just mark stuff up and then.
ID stricken on 20, it'll be a full exhibit.
I'll just hold those. So that would be the video? Probably more helpful.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, cameraman, Mr. Triggerfinger. This is terrible. That video seemed a lot quicker because it's at 1.25. It was a little longer than that.
And the image,
Yes.
and that's that, that red item in the foreground is what you're talking about with the bathing suit.
Yep, there's one in the middle on the bottom, towards the bottom of the bed, and it looks like the other half at the foot of the bed in the middle.
See, Ron, I haven't seen the trials that I can't remember seeing anybody read from their notes. I remember
What about the,
seeing where they can
network?
look at them to refresh memory.
That shows he got to the house that morning around 5 past midnight.
Were you able to confirm if he was in the home during the middle of the day when those pictures were videos were taken?
I believe he was, but I certainly help.
Page 97.
So my report indicates he gets to the house around 0005 on February 8th and is connecting to Grand Prospect, Highland, and other places in close proximity to the house. Then again at 10:19, he's back connecting to the same networks or the networks on the same streets. And again at 6:35, he's connecting to addresses in the area of Rachel's house.
So moving on to the early hours of February 9th, the early morning hours, so the morning he's arrested. Were there any photographs or videos taken in those early hours?
There were.
Okay. Talk about some of the items that were photographed.
So in the early morning hours, he took photographs of her cell phone while the lock screen was open and showed a missed phone call. He took photographs of her driver's license. And I think he took pictures of something else.
This is 32 and 31 and 32.
Yep.
What are those pictures of?
So 32 is a picture of Rachel's cell phone on the lock screen showing a missed phone call, 2 missed phone calls. That phone being lit up shows the time that this picture was taken was 03:39 hours. And 31 is a photograph of Rachel Nunez's New Hampshire driver's license.
You want to just note for me when those pictures were taken? And I have this in notes.
I will need that for the time.
Sitting here trying to look at their process,
On
and
the
they don't make anything easy.
And
to
the
find.
driver's license photo was taken at 2:36 in the morning on the 9th.
And by the way, this sheet that we keep using for refresher recollection, what is that?
This is a data page from a Cellbrite report that shows me the image or the title of the image. It shows me the metadata of the image, and the metadata would contain information for the date and time that it was taken. Sometimes it has the device that took it. Sometimes it has a location that took it. It also has a thumbnail of the photograph.
Ask the ID struck on 31 and 32.
Right, 31 and 32, ID is stricken.
Was there also a, talking about a little bit now, a video taken?
Yes.
What was that video of?
That was a video of the vagina.
They don't have like a process. They just like.
Um,
Oh, good grief.
so you viewed that video
Yes.
It's like they're just winging it.
right here.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna play it, but if you could just mark for
It's like whose line is it anyway?
You see that?
Where
That
the rules are made up
that
and
is
the points
for
don't
that
matter.
video on that sheet in front of you.
Yes, it indicates the video was taken on February 9th at 3:19 in the morning.
Would you mark that disc somewhere, that information?
I don't know how you could be on the stand marking this stuff. I just, to me, that I don't get it. That doesn't make sense.
Thank you. And what I have here is a, tell me what that is. It's 23 for information.
So 23 is a still shot taken from the video.
Whole thing.
And this shows that the video was taken under the white comforter. It shows that the female is laying on the red patchwork blanket. And it
Yes.
shows that she is unclothed from the waist down, her legs are spread, and this photo shows a black box covering her vagina.
So is that essentially a still from the video that you
Look at the
observed,
attorney's face.
Or dashed around the front area?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like
Your
him.
Honor. So it's a fact that my intention is to submit the video, so the jury has it, but for now, just display the redacted copy.
Of the still.
Yes.
So first, do you have any objection to the entry as full exhibits of?
He's up.
I do not, I have no objection to the process she's outlined.
All right, what's the exhibit on the
So
video?
the video's
He
18.
stood up
and
to say no
still
objection.
So the ID is stricken and you can publish 23.
Why is Butterbean making
don't-
them faces?
I don't think they're gonna. Hold on. Yeah. Keep the camera over on the.
So that's the video, that's the image we were describing.
Yes.
Can you tell me what we're looking at here?
So on the bottom of the screen is the blanket sheet that she lays on
Hey,
top.
look,
Like
there
I
we
said,
are.
The red patchwork type of blanket. You can see in the video,
Just to make sure.
Rachel's left leg comes across the middle of the screen and it's bent towards the top, coming down to her thigh, and then her right leg's kind of probably stretched off a little to the right, as you can see in this. She's not wearing any clothes, and then the comforter is at the top of the screen.
So this would be her right thigh, is that right?
Yes,
And her left thigh
yes,
and left shin.
yes.
Just real quick, I'm sorry. This is another image we just looked at.
I don't think he should be allowed in the courtroom.
This is the image of her driver's license.
Okay, and then
To be honest with you.
And this image is the image of Rachel's cell phone with the lock screen.
Dude, this guy must have a camera from like the 80s as a camcorder where it's just like.
I don't know. I think it might be like the bailiff's son or something, like a 7-year-old, like
what do
like
you-
Dr. Dorothy Lewis, like bring your kid to work day and let him run the
Yep.
camera.
Were you able to determine, looking at the going down, what applications he was accessing in those early morning hours?
He was accessing a multitude of different apps in the early morning hours while he was in the home.
Such as?
The camera being one of them.
Yeah, it's
He was on
gross.
social media
That's
sites,
why
he
he
was on
shouldn't be
messaging
allowed in
sites.
the room for this. Or
He
he
was
should
in
be
the,
made to
he
turn
had
his
the
chair.
note app
One of the
on his
two.
phone open. I believe he was connected to the tile.
Put him in a
Those are the ones I
corner.
can recall off the top of my head.
Or put a blindfold on him. One of the two.
Yeah.
You also had the ability to look at whether he had placed any phone calls in those early morning hours.
Yes.
What was your analysis show?
So after he took a picture of the iPhone with the lock screen, he called the phone number that was on it twice, but he dialed *67 before calling the number, so his number wouldn't show.
So I'm sorry, just to clarify that image we just looked at is what you're talking about, the home screen,
Yes,
that he, where the missed call with a number,
yes,
and you're saying he called the number that was on the lock screen.
yes.
And can you explain *67?
*67 blocks the outgoing
Do we know if
number,
the
so it
victim's in the same room?
doesn't show on caller ID.
I don't know.
I don't know if the victim's there.
Did she make
I would
any
hope
other
it was.
*67? He made any other *67 phone calls on that, right?
He made other *67 phone calls. I don't remember if they were late at night on the 8th or early in the morning on the 9th. And those phone calls were to Rachel's number.
Yeah, Polly Percy Pants. That's like exactly what this is.
Your Honor, I think it's like-
First day of
Okay, since it's 5 minutes of 4.
Videography class.
For today. We will resume tomorrow morning. I need to check because I don't remember if it's 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow, so hold on.
the
All right,
Tomorrow's the
Judge.
11th, right? 10 o'clock
defense
tomorrow.
attorney.
So please be here at a couple minutes before 10 and we'll get started. Please leave your notebooks behind. And just one more reminder, if you are
guy.
inadvertently exposed to any media
Nope,
tonight,
nope,
please report that in the
nope.
morning. All right, thank you.
That guy. I'm pointing to my screen like y'all can see. I'm like, that guy right there. Right there. You can't
there
see where I'm
anything else?
pointing.
Did he just smile at the camera? Hold on. Look at that. Look at that face.
You're kidding me. He's like, hi, Mom.
Maybe he was responding to somebody saying something to him.
No, that was dead at the camera.
Yeah.
Mr. Guerrero, you can go ahead and have a seat. As I believe Attorney
Bless
Starbrandt
him.
just discussed with you, one issue that I wanted to discuss with you is the
What is happening in New Hampshire?
defense that you are asserting in this case.
Oh.
Attorney Starbrandt suggested in his opening that to the charges of burglary, that your defense is you are not guilty because you did not have the intent to commit an offense when you entered the structure.
What?
He has suggested to the jury that while that's not a burglary, it might form the basis for a conviction on the lesser offense of criminal trespass. Now, the difference between the two charges, burglary does require that you have an intent to commit a separate offense when a person enters an occupied structure such as a home. Criminal trespass is simply not being authorized or privileged to enter or remain in that occupied structure. Do you understand the difference between the two charges? You don't have to stand up, it's okay. Do you understand the difference between the two charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a discussion with Attorney Starbranch about a defense strategy of essentially acknowledging a lesser offense of criminal trespass? I know that Attorney Starbranch hasn't done that expressly, but he has certainly set the stage to ask the jury that if they're going to find you guilty of that lesser offense. Did you have the discussion with him about that defense strategy?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you authorize him to make that request?
This woman
of the
right
jury
here
if
does
it comes
not
to that,
agree with
to find
his
you guilty
strategy.
of a lesser offense of criminal trespass? You
I'll
did
tell
have
you
that
why in a
discussion with him?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you did authorize him to make that argument? And did you do so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty and your input on that. Is there anything further from the state on that issue?
No, there's no.
All right. Attorney Starbranch, anything further on that issue?
No, Your Honor.
And judging from Attorney Garot's response, I think she has something else to talk about.
Which is very quickly. So we're going to get into some messages tomorrow. Attorney Starbranch, I agreed to redact a couple of words from the exchange.
Can you publish?
Sure, I was going to say what they are.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
just going to say there's just going to be black boxes over certain items, and I don't want the jury to think that I'm hiding something from them. And accordingly, there's also a black box over the note part that we do.
Sure. So I typically will instruct the jury whenever you ask me to about what redactions are, why they occur, and that they're not to speculate about what's been redacted that's been deemed not to be relevant to the case.
Yep, that's all I would ask for that.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything
Yeah,
further?
they're just
All right, thank you.
for
Have a
the
nice
day.
night.
No.
10 o'clock tomorrow, yes.
All right. That's a lot that's happening. Two
a lot.
things. Actually, let me go back to where we were. Two things. This is what I've seen from let's go back just a couple minutes here. All right, watch this woman's lips.
Starbranch about a defense strategy of essentially
See the pursing?
acknowledging a lesser offense.
Typically pursing now listen, I'm no Dr. G, but typically pursing means disapproval. And I think she disapproves of the way that he's doing this entirely. So that's one thing. Here's the other thing. Every time this guy stands up, he's got his hands behind his back. And if anybody watched Dr. G's more recent video about the girl who was super drunk who didn't know that she killed two people and was getting out of the car and all that stuff, like he points out the fact that as she's talking or as she gets out, she puts her hands behind her back, and that typically resembles that they're hiding something. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot going on in the nonverbals here. And again, I'm no expert, but here we are. So
Yeah.
I just blah, blah, blah.
Butterbean and Bumpet both got stuff going on over there. So that's-
Butterbean and Bump It. It sounds like a bluegrass band. Y'all come down for Butterbean and Bump It.
I mean,
Opening up is Stick of Butter.
I'd go see him in concert.
Yeah, it's pretty much Bump It just playing drums on Butterbean's head.
Yeah. Oh, gracious
Oh,
alive. These
good
people.
grief. These
Well,
people.
I am glad that my portal finally cooperated long enough for me to be able to hang out with y'all. I was not giving up. I tried so hard. So, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna show more testimony. I want to talk to Brandi about that. I'm wondering if we need the. I mean, this was a 5-day trial, and I'm wondering if we can push to the defendants, because the defendant testified, and since the jury's already in verdict watch, or we're already in verdict watch for this, I'm wondering if we can push to the defendant, and it's probably possible the jury's going to have a verdict by tomorrow.
We might be
either-
able to, like, I can take a look at everything between this and the defendant. And I can do like one of my recaps for y'all so we can get through that stuff. Cause I know the audio is bad. I know it's, it takes a little bit of effort to, try to hear it. This is kind of like like
Oh,
with
the
the
vic-
Letitia stuff where I had to,
Do-
slow it down and stuff. So
if we summarize, you all tell us in the chat if we summarize the other witnesses, whoever they are, but we watch the witness and the victim and then the defendant.
yeah,
Which I'm making the assumption that they're going to do a close up on Mr. Creepy Undercut during the victim's testimony.
yeah.
I
I could
do
I
victim
could definitely
and defendant.
yeah, I could definitely recap everybody because those are going to be the two that are the most, intense that we would want to see. And I can do a recap on the other stuff if you want to. And then, we definitely would want to watch those two.
Okay.
So.
Well, then maybe that'll be our goal for tomorrow night, everybody. And then if the verdict's reached, we'll show that part as well, and then we'll figure something out after that. This is a constant behind the scenes. We're always just like, what's next, while still trying to be in the moment too. So just, as we get good at this, as we get smoothly through this, just bear with us. It's a process.
I also had an idea too, and I haven't even had a chance to talk to JT about it, but it's just food for thought, just something to think about too.
Mm-hmm.
The podcast that is going to be coming up, the Glenn County corruption, I've mentioned it before, y'all, with I'm looking into a lot of stuff that has to do with the murder of an old friend of mine. She was murdered along with, there was 8 people total. The guy who's in jail for it, it was his family too. It was basically an entire family. And I have some of the court information from that. We don't have the stream, but I have some of the court information for that. And with the podcast coming up on some of the fill dates, that's a possibility too, that we could go over some of this stuff because y'all, this whole thing is crazy. And it started with me looking into the trial, thinking that this guy could not have done it alone. And I was just looking into it thinking, I bet I can prove that he had help. That's how I went into it thinking. And I came out of it thinking, this is an innocent man wrongfully accused and put in jail because of corruption. And everything that I thought was going to happen with this came out different. So that's an option too. I think that I would love for y'all as, our like inner group, our 13 jurors, I would love for y'all to have a look at this trial with us a little bit, even though we can't stream it, but I have, so much that we can go over and different things. So it would be kind of cool to, in some of the filler time too, that in between trials, I would love to introduce y'all to that too, so that when the podcast does come out, y'all will kind of have like the inside knowledge on what everything is about. So.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I also have 60 to 100 one-off cases that I've written for a lot of other shows. And so if you're interested in that too, just let us know. You can here, I'll just type this in. You can email us if you have any ideas or thoughts. You also can submit all your stuff through the website, which is awesome. We like making use of that. So there's those options, and then I think tonight, Brandon and I just came up with a possibly new thing to do on Sundays, which is, I'm going to tell you all first. I think we're going to do a this or that segment where we each take a side, we argue for the one or the other side, and then the loser, which is a poll in the chat, you guys get to determine who the loser was. They are going to get folded into a taco and sent to Antarctica through a portal. And then that'll be gone forever. And so we'll come up with some fun stuff. And if you have any suggestions for this or that's, you let us know. You can contact us in all kinds of ways. So that would be fun too. Anyways, y'all, thanks so much. Thanks for putting up with, again, the sound. And as much as I'd like to say sorry, I can't, because New Hampshire, I don't know.
New Hampshire.
So
what are you gonna do?
Or
JT wears another wig.
Or I wear another wig. I don't have. I have a Batman mask. That's what I have. I have the full rubber cowl from like the classic Batman movie.
Why am I not surprised?
Where is she?
Why am I
what
not
else to
surprised?
say.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, and thanks for not going anywhere. Because when my internet was going in and out, I was miserable trying to get back to y'all. But I made it, and we made it through the night, and I appreciate it. And we will stick to our plan for tomorrow and in the future. And don't forget, please, please, please send us any of the ones that you know, especially the ones if you know they're going to be streaming. Send them to us through the website.
Polly said, "Can we give you a lawyer? You have to do the debate style in."
Oh my god!
You could. You sure could. We'll see how long we can do that for, in one shot. But if you guys have lawyers, send them our way. That'll be fun.
Oh, that's funny.
I consent. Oh, good grief. Well, thanks, everybody.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for reporting to jury duty, and we will see y'all tomorrow.
And we cover a lot of tough stuff, but just like Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. Smile. And thank you so much. Yes, don't let anyone dull your sparkle. I love that. You all have a good night. We will see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Night, y'all.